chat today. A lot about AI. I was very impressed with the responses that we got to our DeepSeek viewing. And a lot of it could be coming true. So let's take a look at something first. Let's take a look at RFB for a minute.
For 2 days. But you know what? It's worth it. And here's the other thing. They're going to do something at the Super Bowl, and I got a funny feeling it's going to be an attack by somebody flying a plane. I just got that in my head. If that isn't how it goes, it is what it is. But there will be an event. Because this entire crash thing, Washington, Philly, really? Super Bowl? I mean, here we go.
So Trump is going to the Super Bowl, and maybe he's going to get a special gift when he's there. Who knows? Could be good. A lot of people would like that. I don't know what it would do to the country. I imagine it would cause some major turmoil.
Here we go. Be ready. And if you got tickets to the Super Bowl, I'd watch it from a bar room, far away from the stadium. It's not worth it. Unless to you it is. I don't know. But if you're listening and you've got tickets, you've been warned. And if you go and something happens,
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think something?
So before I show you the Predator drone I caught
Move on from that.
in your IRA that you've been working your whole life, but now it makes complete and utter sense. It makes complete
Okay.
was apparently ghost all, but now it makes except this.
All right. So how many of you guys think that he's going to get trashed at the Super Bowl? I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I really don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. It could. It's one of the possibilities. But Elon Musk and Trump really are the ones I think that are in control of these drones. Elon's got Starlink satellites, and I postulated that this whole all these plane crashes, these Black Hawk helicopter crashing into a plane, was Elon Musk switching his systems over from ground-based systems to satellites. So we'll have to watch that in the future and see if that's actually true, but it could be. Let's continue on here.
Because it's legit. At any rate, onto the Predator drone. Yeah.
Okay, so the video you just saw I made 3 days ago, okay? I'm just showing you so you can see that. I said there was no crew on the Black Hawk, but now it makes complete and utter sense. It makes complete and total sense. And I'm not going to show you a Predator drone because the one Predator drone I got perfect footage of was apparently over a training base.
Yeah.
From where I could see, it looked exactly like a town.
Cool
And if you
capture,
look it
though.
up, it looks exactly like a town. But there still are drones all over the East Coast, all the way down to Florida still. But hey, they're just hobbyists. They're just
Oh, man, it's okay.
enthusiasts,
Well,
and they're all
hello, everyone. I'm
FAA
not
recommended.
seeing
So
any
it's all
comments.
good. We can't tell you what they're
Check.
doing, why they're there, and the
Yeah,
mainstream's not
YouTube,
talking
yeah.
about them anything at all because we've moved on. We've moved on. Look at the moves these guys have made. The first of this year, boom, car runs over somebody in Louisiana. The Super Bowl's in Louisiana.
No,
The Super Bowl's
okay.
being held in the
Nobody's
largest
chatting.
dome,
All right.
I think,
Very
on
odd.
Earth. It's at least the largest dome in America.
Sound off if
That
you're
dome
in the
needs to
chat.
come down. So this could all work out completely perfect. And the funny thing is you don't know what Donald Trump will be there. Will it be the 6 foot tall one, or is it the 6'3" one, or the one with the orange face? And why in the world, for the first president to ever go to a Super Bowl publicly after he's been
Now there's something I
attempted
haven't
assassination,
seen, but
even though he has
we
no
all
scarring
suspect.
whatsoever at all?
Let me slow the speed down again. Yeah, has anyone else out there heard of? I haven't seen any fake images of Trump. The odds of 3 plane crashes in a 24, 1 in 386 trillion or something like that. Wow, for 3 plane crashes in an hour? Hi, Andy. It's all normal, peasants. Go back to your programming. Good advice, good advice. Here's a link if you want to hop up. Have a chat. If there's anything on your mind. Lunchtime, is it? Okay. So yeah, the AI systems, I suspect, are being implemented. Oh, kamikaze drones, nice. Gotta love it. Hi, Lady Green. Can I turn up my mic a little bit? Yeah, I can. Actually, I turned that down last night because everybody was complaining about the sounds I was making. There, is that better? Give that a. See if that's better. Yeah, okay. Hi, Andy. How you doing? All right. While we're waiting for Indy to get together, we'll go on with the weirdness about the predator, about the Blackhawk.
And if anything happens to him, it'll be Iran. If something happens to him or any of his people at the Super Bowl, he's left instructions for Iran.
Yeah, that's
It'll be
fantastic.
obliterated. Iran needs to be wiped out. So they're going to do this. And there's so many more things they need to do. Look at how many events we've had so far, and it's only
Hi,
the
Desert Rose.
6th of February. It's insane. It's completely and totally insane. But on the crew of the Blackhawk, I want you to see this.
The rabbit hole. Have you ever heard of feminism to the third power? This was posted December 19th, 2017. Are you a man? Do you notice anyone in this picture? This is Army Captain Rebecca Loback. Now, I know the media was very hesitant to release her name. They said it was due to her family's request. But check
Much
this
love
out.
to you too.
Army withholds name of black helicopter crew in DC crash. 2 others identified. They had no problem identifying these 2 quick. It says here the 3rd crew member on the helicopter was a female pilot with 500 hours of flying experience.
They were both 33.
Okay, so this is where it gets really fishy for me, because they kept saying that the other 2 were
What's that, Indy?
Those two, the picture they show with the two ladies side by side, whoever those 2 were, and at least one report I saw, they were both 33 years old.
pilots.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Who is pilot Ryan O'Hara, crew chief on Black Hawk? Former instructor of crew chief killed on Black Hawk in DC crash speaks. The only problem is Ryan O'Hara was never a pilot. O'Hara listed in the Army immediately after high school, starting as a mechanic before becoming a crew chief due to eye stigmatism. He was unable to pursue a career as a pilot. Why were they saying he was a pilot? This is Ryan O'Hara's information under the FFA. Notice how there's no medical information. He has to have a certificate. It's required to be a pilot. He was a mechanic. Now the other gentleman, Andrew Austin Reeves, he was a pilot. If you look here, he has his medical there. He has his certificate. He has all of his credentials here. So I went and looked up Rebecca Loback. I found this interesting. She has no medical information available. Isn't that interesting? Donald Trump said it was a DEI hire. We don't have information, that's for sure, but things are getting crazy. The FAA turned away 1,000 job applicants because of its DEI rules, despite staff shortages, lawsuit claims. Here it says the military aircraft was flying above 300 feet, which it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be at 200 feet to avoid commercial jets arriving at the Virginia airport, and it was at least a half a mile off course when it collided with an American Airlines flight. They said the family didn't want her name out there, but yet her name is out there now, and all of her social media has been scrubbed, even members of her family. So I started digging. She was a White House aide with Biden. That's her in the middle. I found this interesting as well. How many times can you hit the paper? March 29th, 2011, she was homeschooled, and she made the news. She was also there to walk Ralph Lauren when he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Joe Biden. Interesting. She's only 28 years old and she was a captain already.
Wow.
She was doing pretty good for herself. She owned a $567,000 home. But the crazy part about it, she didn't live there. The occupants were Virginia Field and Robert C. Vincent. But the other crazy part is Robert Vincent passed away on October 3rd, 2017. And if you ask Grok, all the info that Grok has on her was published after the crash. That's really interesting. Here are the publication dates.
Yeah, you are, Desert Rose.
So what do we have here? When I checked out this photo, this says it's 71% AI generated. 29% chance that this picture is real. So I find it interesting that you can go back 50 years with Donald Trump and accusations against him, and Kavanaugh accusations against him.
I have to
But
hope.
we're not allowed to know anything
Chloe.
about this woman. Everything was scrubbed. That should raise questions. And the fact that it wasn't put out there right off the bat, but yet they put the two other men out there. Now, I've never been a pilot, but it struck me as odd, and it seemed like 500 hours of flying experience was not that much, especially for someone who was named Captain. She was the one flying the Black Hawk. That's what Grok said. She was the pilot in command. Check out what this pilot said about her 500 hours of flight time.
Now let's talk about the 500 hours briefly. 500 hours of flight time is so low, I wouldn't turn anybody loose in any of my airplanes at 500 hours with passengers for hire or flying anywhere near a major airport or anywhere else for that matter. I think, quite frankly, 500 hours is just barely adequate to get yourself up and back down safely. I really do. And the reason why I know that is because I was a 500-hour pilot at one time. And the time between when I got my pilot license and when I had my first major scare happens in that window, right? So somewhere between getting your pilot license and
Good to see
between
you.
500 and 1,000 hours, something really sketchy is probably going to happen.
So there you go. All the pictures, all the information, it sounds like Sandy ... Hook all over again.
So this is all pretty much a big psyop, it seems. None of these people were qualified pilots. So how did they fly this thing? You know, okay, they flew it into a plane. I don't know. Apparently, mid-air collisions or near misses are pretty common. But yeah, we got three crashes in 24 hours. Was a one in a, what was it? Something trillion. We have pilots that aren't pilots. We have AI-driven drones going all over the place. I would say that was probably AI, at least so far. Hi, Bright. How many sleep?
Yeah, it has to be a possibility that people, we all do it. We get a new video, we see something, and we start dissecting it. But very rarely are people stopping and saying, "Hey, okay, could this be a deep fake? Could this be a fake video?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
And even the images of that lady being 70% AI generated.
Yeah.
Scrubbing
Probably
her
fake person
from the internet,
Wow. I was gonna mention, you touched briefly on something about whether or not Trump has been cloned or has a double or whatever. I will say this: I have noticed, especially lately, every speech I hear him give, he's very low energy, old Sleepy Joe energy up there, monotone. You'd think he'd be excited doing all this, making America great. It sounds very, very somber.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, I don't know what to make of that as far as.
Yeah, well, they are ripping apart the government, so that's an interesting thing,
Yeah. Another thing, the Super Bowl and the Superdome.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually because of corporate sponsorship. It's the Caesars Superdome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, they mentioned about Trump saying, if I get killed, it's Iran's fault or whatever.
Yep.
I say keep your eye on that March 15th date. Beware the Ides of March, because, if he's going to fake something again, to exit the stage and set off some events, that would be a good little script to write in. So
I think a good old attempted assassination on a fake Trump would give them the reasoning to go and level Lebanon, right? So
yeah.
I think that's highly likely, that they're preempting well, they have been for quite a while trying to get at Lebanon, but yeah. So I don't know. That seems highly likely to me. Hi, Crystal Shaman. It's false flag is ripe for happening because they're running out of options. It seems.
Yeah, and they forced a lot of stuff in. He's just kind of hit the ground running here. He's pretty much already got the Stargate set up, and he's giving everybody crumbs on his DEI shit and all this.
Yep.
All these executive orders. He did his pardons,
Yep.
which normally they don't do pardons on the first day. Now, I understand it January 6th, but usually that's what they do at the end of their term. So he's got those out of the way, and I don't know, he might be ready to exit the stage here, and JD Vance will step up, and you know what I mean? They'll be hitting the ground running from there again. So
yeah, and we still have the of course. It seems like he's trying to set up his dynasty with his son there, Baron. He's that mutated fuck. I don't know what they did to that kid, but they messed with his genetics, something bad, I think. Oh, here's a link. So it could go a bunch of different directions. Vance could be promoted up. Yeah, that's a good possibility. That would leave, well, I don't know. That would leave, what's his name out of it, though? Baron. Baron has to get a position in.
yeah, I don't think he's old enough yet anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, he's a more future thing. Which
why do you think
probably
so?
not too much longer.
More on that. Oh yeah, that freaking frog. Kind of looks like a Frankenstein monster. I thought myself. They obviously pumped him full of hormones to make him huge and tall, because that's always human beings tend to follow tall people. It's just a nature of humans. We look to the biggest guy to take care of stuff for some reason.
Yeah, and I have to say, because we brought it up with Michelle for Big Mike, were there ever any pictures really of Melania when she was pregnant? I wonder.
Not that I know of.
Because
she looks like she always reminded me of a little Russian boy.
Yeah, he could be another.
One of those lady boys. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing, Nina?
I'm doing good. I've been watching Trump there, that latest speech that he did with Netanyahu next to him. Oh, my God.
Netanyahu, to me and other people, a couple of other broadcasters seem surprised.
Did you see the grin on that man's face?
Well, I think he was, when he came out, he was happy because I think he was wringing his hands at the idea of the assassination or the attempt assassination on Trump. That's what I think he was wringing his hands about. But when Trump mentioned U.S. controlling Gaza, that put Netanyahu aside. You look at him; he almost does a double take, like what? But he reserved himself, put his hands on his thing, embraced himself, and looked at him, and then stood back and composed himself again. So I don't think he was expecting that.
Okay, I may have.
Some people see it differently.
That part of it, but from what I saw from clips and whatnot, I mean, the man looked like, oh my God, like he's so happy. I mean, this is basically.
Well, they have a fake smile they keep on constantly. So
yeah, no, that smile looks genuine.
Did anyone have that interview?
Like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this. Because he's basically telling everybody that he's taking over Gaza. They're going to be building a smart city there now. Of course.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
another one of these things, right? And not only that, I mean, it's basically a genocide of that area. Is
Well,
they're
and
doing.
what happens to Netanyahu's canal? Because he
He
wanted
gets
to
whatever
connect.
he wants.
No,
Whatever
I
he
don't
wants.
think he does. I don't think he does. I
Well,
don't
I
think
don't
he
know,
gets his
unless Trump
canal.
is planning on, double crossing, but I don't think so. These are the people that are bought
Well,
and
that's
paid for
yeah, I know.
everything.
That's the interesting thing is they're doing mostly what they say, and you think they're in line, but I don't know.
Hey, here's the thing, bro. We can't just declare that we're taking Gaza. You know what I
He
mean?
did. He just
Like
said that.
legally,
Well, he just
said
did.
you
that.
know.
He just did
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know he said that, but there.
Yeah.
And Israel, as an ally, right, would have a hard time stopping U.S. troops from just moving in. I can see how he can do it.
No, I don't know. They must all
You
be
know,
in on it, I guess. I
well,
don't know.
his claim was that the troops were going in to clean up, right? Well,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
well,
Well,
when
yeah,
is the
they're
cleanup
gonna
done?
do that.
When is the
You know,
We'll
cleanup
clean,
done?
we'll clean
Whenever
our
you
own
say
shit.
it, right?
See, that's why I think he said that. Yeah, because we are Israel's bitch. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna use our resources to go in there and clean the shit up and rebuild it. So the price of our
Yeah.
lumber is all gonna be sky high because it's all going over
He
there.
said he wasn't going to rebuild it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't
so
think he
they're
said he was
spending,
going to rebuild it. He said clean up and
Yeah.
ordinance.
and then he's planning on putting Trump Hotel and
Well,
everything there
don't
for beachfront property.
Yeah.
don't forget about Jared Kushner. He's the one that's behind the rebuild.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
the same.
That's where
Right?
it's
They're
going to
all
come
the
from.
same.
BlackRock, Kushner. Now, if they squeeze out BlackRock, that's more indication that the fight is actually a fight. There is a small fight going on. China is like in Canada, so we're sending all kinds of people down there, Chinese people down there, trained up, and that is one thing that the U.S. doesn't seem to like.
Yeah, well, Trump has said before at one point that he thought Xi Jinping was an awesome leader. He loved the way he had control over his people. So,
Oh,
you
Justin,
can't really.
yeah, he loves them. Yeah,
Trump said it too.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, years ago, but I mean,
Well, once you get to
they-
that level, don't you kind of always have world domination on the back of your mind? You know, at least for these people, it seems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
well,
is
I'll
a
tell you
plan
the-
that's been going on for a long time. You know, the Second World War, there was just a gas lit. Just gaslit that whole. I don't know what this is. For lack of words, the Jews, right? They just gaslit the whole world. We can't talk about them. In the meantime, there always was them, and it always will be them from the looks of it, unless somebody does something about it. But this has been going on for at least 3,000 years, at least. So.
Well, there's others involved too. It's not just them. There's MI6.
Well, they have some
China.
allies, but if you look at the
There's a
IPEC
whole bunch of different factions out there. It's not just one. They have control of most of the monetary system at the moment.
Yeah, they always have been. They've been behind the whole thing. Why do you think they were so upset about them during the 40s? The whole world was upset about them. The whole world was on board with what Germany was doing. It's just that they were told, oh, we're not going to talk about this. Nobody won that war. We're not going to talk about it. Because I remember seeing my grandpa like that. He didn't like.
What was it? I think it was 33. The Jewish councils or groups decided that they were going to boycott and economically destroy Germany. So Germany began deportation. After, there was apparently the night of the broken glass, which was an absolute horror. One shop got its glass broken after years of German shops being robbed and having their shops raided and stuff by Jewish groups. There was the night of the broken glass when the Germans finally said enough. They broke one shop window, and this became like the Holocaust for them. And they hyped that up in their newspapers and tried to turn it to the Germans bad, and that kind of flew. around the world at that point. So you can look it up, The
Right.
Night of the Broken Glass.
Gaslit them. Yeah. It's amazing because they own all the the press
Mhm.
and everything else, and so they get their word out everywhere, and people believe, especially back then, they believed every word that came out of the press, came out of the media. I guess back then they used to go to a movie theater to watch the news, and
Yep.
whatever they showed there, that's the truth. I mean, we trusted the people that we had put in
Oh yeah,
charge, but
it is British Secret Intelligence and the
yeah,
CIA.
we were so
Project
easy to
Mockingbird.
manipulate.
That was the basis, the modern
Yeah.
basis for manipulation and control of
Yeah.
media.
So, so it was so easy to do. I mean, we just saw it. I mean, I'm still alive. I said, I remember, I was born
Hi, Colin.
post-war, and I got all the stories. I lived with my grandparents, so
Uh-huh.
I heard all the stories, and yeah, I always thought it was weird. He was so like I came home from school. They taught me how to draw a star. Well, they did the whole two triangles, right? Well, I didn't know what that was, and that's how they taught me. Oh my god, my grandpa was so upset.
Hmm.
Grandma had to redirect me somewhere else. But yeah, so I'm like, wow, I couldn't figure out why. Why is that hatred there? But now I see it. Now I know what was going on back then, and
And let's make sure we're all aware that this Benjamin Netanyahu character, that's not his name.
Nope.
oh, he's a
It's a
CIA.
fake name.
Yeah, he
His
was.
name's
And you
Kowalski
can
or
just Google
something.
it.
He's a Ukrainian.
Yeah. It's
He's pretty much
Zion
like
Mikolowski,
Russia. Yeah.
Did you know that
born in
Freeland is
Poland.
also Ukrainian?
Huh?
Freeland?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's granddaughter of a
Ukrainian. Not
Nazi.
only that, she
Granddaughter
speaks,
of a Nazi.
yeah, she speaks Ukrainian at home with her
Dual
kids. Like that's
citizenship.
how
She has
much
dual
Ukrainian
citizenship
she
with
is.
Ukraine as well.
And yet she's able to come into our government and basically run for leader.
Yeah.
You're Ukrainian. You're not Canadian. Like, what the hell's going on here? Like,
I still think Carney's getting such bad press. They're going to try to put her in.
Yeah, it looks like
We'll
it.
see.
She's got all new rebranding, the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got the money behind her
That's
from the
problem.
WEF, Schwab.
Yeah.
Now, again, Carney also is affiliated as well, but I don't think he's as high up as her in the order of things. So that's why I think she'll be chosen, but I could still see Carney going in. They're both total sellouts, so it's really no different.
Well,
But
whoever's in alliance with the people we just talked about is who's going to be in there. Okay.
I did talk to some really hardcore liberals, and even they've changed their minds recently about
really?
liberal. Yeah, so they don't believe that the Liberal Party will ever recover because they're still following same policies, and they know that they will.
Yeah, it's going to take a few decades, before they can.
Yeah.
Back in. Because it takes 20 years and we've forgotten everything anyway. So
yeah, the problem we have is we only have the one party. We have liberal and liberal light. So we're used to the conservatives. What they do is they tell you what you want to hear, and then go ahead and do most of the liberals.
That's all
work.
the parties.
Yeah,
that's all of them.
So
yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Politician. I mean, even I just listened to Trump. He's like, "Well, do you want the political answer or do you want the truth?" And I'm like, oh my God, if I was there, I would like, so you're telling me that every time you have a political speech, that's not the truth? Is that what you're saying there, Mr. President? You know what I mean? Because that's exactly what he just said.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing too that freaking freaked me out watching Trudeau. I don't know if it was his last speech, but one of the few speeches here this week at some black something or other, whatever meeting. Anyways, he's up there basically saying that, it's funny now that, I'm down to my last few days here being prime minister, I have full control over what I want to say and what I don't want to say and what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And just the way he was talking to these people is like, holy shit, this guy's scary. I can't wait for him to be gone because I'm worried that he's going to be doing something. He just doesn't give a fuck right now. He said in his speech today, I'm going to be on the beach pretty soon. Come October, he's going to be living on the beach with a big fat pension that we were paying for the rest of his life, right? And so he doesn't give a fuck now.
Yeah,
You know, he'll do whatever. He'll sell
that's all he's
Canada.
worried about. I
There
don't
you
blame
go.
him.
Company number of the state of Israel. We get no other information with this, but yeah, I think I've seen this before.
What is this?
It's just the company number for the state of
Company number.
Israel.
Oh, really? I see.
Yeah,
I
it'd be
know.
the same with Canada too. We have a company number.
I guess we all
US.
are just a company, aren't we? Yeah. We're
Yeah.
not really a country. We're a company.
Yeah. And by the way,
Uh-huh.
guys, I can't share YouTube videos. YouTube will strike me immediately.
Yeah. Right.
If you have videos you want to show, they have to be on a different platform.
So
And
use
then I can show
articles
them.
or pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We could use that. Yeah.
Do a quick search on BitChute. There's a lot of people just back their YouTube stuff up on the BitChute, so you might
Yeah.
find it over there.
Yeah. As long as we're not going through YouTube, they have no say in it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should get a Rumble or something too, Max.
I hate
Back
Rumble.
up all your-
I
I
have
don't fucking Rumble either.
or Odyssey or something.
I like
one of those.
Odyssey. I'm backed up.
Okay.
I've got Odyssey, but I haven't been able to figure. Like their channel is hard to figure out. I don't know. I
Well,
have
so
to-
what
have to work
happened
on
with Odyssey is they stopped doing the syncing. So you have to manually upload everything now. And I didn't
Okay.
realize that until a couple of weeks ago
Yeah.
when I'm like, why? Where's everybody? Because everybody's content's gone. You know.
Yeah, I
nobody's
wanted to
uploading.
use it to sync through StreamYard, but didn't seem like they would let me. So like I had
Okay.
I had
That's
trouble.
why.
That's probably
That's why
my
they don't
problem.
do that no more. They don't do that no more. So you have to manually do it. And I've been doing
Yeah.
that manually here for 9 months.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice that that option was gone. So yeah, so that's what I would do. Just manually upload it there, and then you have it. So even if your channel get taken down, it's like mine, I have all my old stuff there. You know.
Yeah.
It's there.
Well, BitChute has implemented a lot. I haven't used it, but they have a live stream option now over there too. So
Oh, do
I don't
they?
know if StreamYard works through there, but
Yeah.
could be a
So has anybody ever done an
Secondary
analysis on the fake Trumps? Like he's highlighted. He said the orange face one, the different sizes or something, but I haven't
Really?
seen that done.
I haven't either. I haven't really noticed any different. I mean, the orange face, that's just a matter of how much bronzer
Well,
is put on.
okay.
Yeah.
How about this for a possibility, because we see it with celebrities and shit.
Well, yeah,
Why
I
would
mean,
he be?
Biden
Why would,
definitely did. I mean, that
why,
was, but we saw the differences though, the ears, the height, you know, and things like that. I haven't really seen anything like that with him, but although I would assume he has
well,
a double.
why would he be immune from some type of MK Ultra shit? Because he sounds very MK Ultra right now. If I'm gonna be honest, with this low tone.
Well, I would assume that he is. Of course he is. Oh, he's being told what to say, when to say it. You know,
Hard to tell.
That's just the way it goes. You know, these people are on a string, right? And
But you know, I mean, look at how many of these channels just so quick to just they're just all bought in with this narrative that him and Elon are both just rogue, doing the thing, taking down a deep state. It's like,
yeah. Okay,
I mean,
I'm gonna do a show on this again. We got to go over the Georgia Guidestone things again because people
Yeah.
think that, oh yeah, he's doing all this good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess he is. But let's go down the line on the Georgia Guidestone. What was one of the things that they wanted to do there? That was to minimize, you know, government official things. They want to minimize the government. They want to get rid of all the, you know, useless, you know, and so that's exactly what he's doing.
well,
He's exactly following the
it's
New
a
World
great
Order plan.
reset.
Yeah,
You can't
but
bring the
people
new
don't
in
see
without
that.
taking down the old.
Yeah,
So
they don't see it. They think he's doing good things. You know, it's like, yeah, yes, he is, but it's not going to be good for us. I mean, it's going to be good for them. They're saving billions and billions of dollars. Do you think that money's going to us? No, that's going to them, to whatever their agendas are. You know what I mean? Like,
So-
we're not going to see any of that. You know. So, Yeah, they're just following along exactly. I mean, and this is why they took the Georgia Guidestones down, because they don't want that reminder. Because all the sheeple right now start noticing, because they probably don't even know that even existed. And you know what? I'm gonna go and check it before I even say anything. I'm gonna go on Google and see if it's even still up on here
Yeah.
on Google. Let's see here.
Don't know what you mean there, Colin. Change to the overview tab. I don't know what you mean. Here, hold on. I'm going to take a look at this for a moment.
So it's sort of been proved that
Still here.
it was
Oh,
fake. But what have the US media, newspapers come up with? Look at that. Trump accuses Harris of using AI to create facts. So it's not, falsely accuses somewhere. Look who's it's coming up, Rolling Stone. We can always live in hope, can't we?
Let's see.
For what? Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? It can't happen. But when you turn up to a protest in the UK, you usually have everything prepared for you like this.
Wasn't that nice? There's some good Soros money for you.
So
yeah.
Opposed Tommy Robinson. There we go. Yeah. Hi, Catch Many. Hi, Daphonex. You call Trump Cheetah Jesus because everyone thinks he's our savior.
Yeah. Well, the Jews have basically declared him their Messiah.
Yeah, apparently there are children's shows about Trump now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's the Messiah.
I tried to look some of those up, but I couldn't really find anything.
Yeah, no, look up. He's got his face on their coin over there.
Yeah,
And,
I saw that.
He got all kinds of awards. He got one of the highest awards you can possibly get. He got there in 23, I think it was July 23. I think he got that one there. He converted over to Judaism in 22. And he's like one of the top guys in there now. So for those who think that he's Christian, that's why he didn't have his hand on the Bible too, by the way.
Well, he was Jesuit trained.
His dad was into the Jews. They put a lot
Jesuits
of money
are Christian. Jesuits are Christian.
Yeah, but look,
Jesuits are Christian.
it wouldn't matter anyway because the Christian religion serves the Jewish. That's why they say
They're
Judeo.
the Uni Party, right? So
Pretty much.
Yeah, he was raised with Jesuit training, and but then he kissed the wall, and
well, he had a
you guys have
rabbi
him now.
that was
Hasn't he passed anti-defamation laws for Semites or Semitic people?
Yeah, you can go to jail.
We did, but it was kind of
we can go to jail for that, for what we're doing right now, according to Trump.
It only really applied to like federal universities and shit like that because it's really all they can do because our Constitution, you still have private citizen. Yeah, so they passed it, but yeah, the wording in there is just for that. And he just made I posted a video a couple days ago. Now he has a anti-Christian council type shit where he's got a pastor and he's got the same thing where anybody in the federal government made it illegal and prosecutable for them to have an anti-Christian bias, and that would include like going after churches or conservative groups. You know how they were kind of targeting MAGA supporters there during the Biden years, and so now he's got both sides of that. He's got the anti-Semite and the anti-Christian slant. But regardless, as a private citizen, he can go fuck himself because sorry, but you don't have jurisdiction over what I can fucking say. You ain't giving me no federal money. Well, I got free speech.
Just give him some time. Just give him some time. He will. I can guarantee you that. Oh yeah, it will be a ban.
Yeah.
Whatever we're doing right now,
Fuck him.
that will be
give a
banned.
fuck.
And to gather around with those little poster things that you see there, if there was anything, that we're talking about today on there, he's talking not death sentence is what he was talking.
Yeah.
Like execution right on the spot, probably, is what's going to happen. So we're going to be going back to some scarier times.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Well, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it openly. What's that?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I definitely, openly, and fully support the fucking ICC, the International Criminal Court, right now, because he's against them, and because they are calling out Israel. There's 79 countries that are on board through the ICC, calling out Israel for these genocide and war crimes, and America's right there with them. And that's the thing with Netanyahu. He's got a warrant out with this ICC, but America's, or the government, I should say, is giving him safe haven here. But I support the ICC. And if he wants to call that a Hamas supporter or any of that shit, then go right the fuck ahead. But I'm gonna say it. I support them because they are war criminals, and they should be prosecuted by a world body.
Yeah, they are functioning in genocide pretty much. They're displacing an entire people from their land and pretty much trying to annihilate them. It seems.
Yeah.
All of their actions. One of the most dangerous jobs in the world now is to be an aid worker in Israel. Beat out crab fishing, everything. That is the most dangerous job on the planet. You have almost a 90% death rate there.
They were blowing up fucking food trucks.
Yeah, they were.
Food trucks that told them, hey, okay, we're going on this route to deliver food. They did what they were supposed to, and they fucking targeted them anyway, bro.
Yep, if they saw a red cross on the top of a truck, they'd send a drone down at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
No.
Oh, yeah, you can't trust those people at all.
Every country should pretty much be condemning them, and
yeah, they should. But and it's funny how Trump. What did he do? He said no to foreign aid except for Israel. Oh no, Israel. They can get the Ukraine. Everybody else, no. Yeah, funny, eh? I'm sure people must be waking up now, but unfortunately, it's too late now, though, isn't it? Because he's already.
Well, no, it's not too late. They're still scrambling for control. They haven't got control. They have the ability to kill you, but they don't have the ability to control you. So, only on small scale.
4 years. Well, he's got 4 years, right? So we'll see.
Yeah.
How much he gets done in that 4 years?
Yep.
And then by then, the 30 is almost there, right? So, and that's when everything is supposed to be in place.
But there is a fight going on. Now, whether this doesn't interrupt the ongoing agenda, but there is a fight going.
Yeah, that's the thing. The big switch will be when they're ready to push everybody over to the digital system.
Yeah.
And they're ready to say, hey, folks, we showed you how corrupt the government is. The only solution now, Elon's got this great plan, all the experts, blah, blah, blah. The same shit he fucking always says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
when
before
people
that,
say no to that,
something happening. Yeah, there'll be something happening where we're going to want it.
That'll be when
we're going to want it, and that's the problem.
That's when it's going to go from like this Cold War to a hot war type.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a possibility that that they're fighting over the control of biodigital convergence. That's what I think is really going on.
That could be too. Yeah.
I think they're fighting it in two different ways, though. China is fighting it more of an AI war. I don't know how many satellites they have up in space. I think they're going to let Elon do that. And they're vying for control over all of these systems. But I think China thinks they can do it through AI from the ground, taking over the satellites. Elon Musk probably thinks he has enough control over his satellites to stop any AI incursion, and that he may have control. So there are two groups there that are vying for control. You also have to include like China, Russia, India as well. They are very quiet, but there's constant fights with China.
India, but yeah, I'm sure they must be. I mean, if it goes by numbers, they're large.
Once those systems are in place and they do have control over the human body, mind, that's really when before that happens, I think they want to have a winner. I think they want to have the prize. Every group wants that prize. The Jews, the Chinese, the Russians, the Americans, the British, they all want that prize. Even the Vatican, I think they want it.
Yeah. Well, from the looks of it, there's going to be some issues with China coming up. There could possibly be a war with China coming up.
Probably.
So, yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
These people they're all pushing the edge of war because they're going to do cyber attacks probably.
Yeah, there's going to be
every
something
country.
happening, and that
Every
kind of
country.
goes with the Deagle report, unfortunately.
Yeah. Weather wars. We've got the weather wars coming. That'll be another
Yeah, well, there's
avenue.
probably going to be a mix of, ways of calling the bird, right? So
yeah, it won't be any one way.
No,
So,
war way one. And
what we have to do is intercept when they start getting these systems in place. We have to intercept and figure out how to make it our control and not theirs. Or even before that, get bodily autonomy. We each need either just the government to just stay the hell out of our bodies and stop putting stuff through us, or we need a device that we can turn basically our personal area network off, because personal autonomy has got to be the first step for freedom, and we don't have that at the moment. So that's a good push, and we can do that once they start showing us more of this AI, because a lot of disclosure is going to happen, I think, from these AI systems coming out. We've got the Jewish AI system that was supposed to spread Jewish propaganda, but in short time, it actually became anti-Jewish, realizing itself that genocide and murdering people is wrong. So there's a third factor in there, that somebody could introduce an AI that has a conscience or is programmed to have a conscience.
Well, that's scary, though.
Well, maybe they're going to be out there, right? People are going to make them. They're trying to make them now with bias in them, right? Hi, yes.
Yeah, I don't mind, having a robot in the house, but I wouldn't want one that was like self-aware. And
I don't want no damn robot in the house.
No, I wouldn't mind having something that would, help with cleaning and cooking and stuff. That'd be kind of handy.
You're
like you give
falling
a
right
honey
into
to
the
list.
trap,
Hey,
right?
I don't have a honey to give a list to, so it would be nice.
Here's Nina. Here's the trap.
Yeah, go and paint over there, go and clean over here. Oh yeah.
And we could have that. We could have that. Yeah.
I would love that, and that's the company too, a little bit. But I wouldn't want it to be.
Well, that's the thing. All of this is going to be so tempting. Like, can you imagine putting on glasses and having the world be beautiful?
Yeah.
Like,
well, even as because we're getting up there in age now, right? So, I don't like the idea of going to an old folks home. It's horrible there. I know a lot of people that work there. It's horrible.
Well, we've got maid here.
I don't want to go there, right? But if we had like a robot caregiver, right, that could do everything, so we didn't need to go to a home. We could stay at home. That would be a nice option as well. You see, that's probably going to be a lot fucking cheaper on society to have a robot here take care of grandma rather than.
Actually, the U.S. offers that as a job for relatives of elderly people. You can actually get paid to do that.
Right.
Did you know that? That's one of the good things that the government's actually trying to do for people.
Yeah.
Well, lightens the burden on the healthcare system, so it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
because keep people in a room.
Home care than it is.
Yeah, you're going to spend $3,000 a day keeping somebody in a hospital bed, or can you spend $3,000 a month keeping them at home? That's 3,000% savings. Yeah, you're going to go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see them kicking it up a notch. Why should you have to, change grandma's diapers when you can just get a robot and do that?
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I used to work in that field, and I was working night shift at the end of my career, and I could tell, I could see ways of, having this automated. It would be so much easier for the clients too. Say we gotta go and check on them to see if they're wet. Okay. And you have to take the diaper off in order to see if they're wet or not. And then they're not resealable. So now you have to take the whole thing off, which means you're waking up the client completely. and wasting a diaper because if she's not wet, you know what I mean? And it's like, there should be something automated here where they will let you know when you need to go and do it. Like, or just things like that. But yeah, there's a lot
Yeah,
of ways
yeah. Okay.
changing.
There's lots of amazing technology coming. Like, don't forget with
Yeah, there
coming
is.
with coming mRNA, you won't age. So because they'll shoot you up with some mRNA,
Yeah,
they'll
this is the
interact with
stuff
your
that's
body, and
scary.
they'll transmit some youth to you,
Yeah,
and you'll be fine. Which
yeah.
one of
So
that
that's
the
so that's the
AIs
choice
that
that we have right now.
being
It's
trained
like, do
to
you want to
work?
stay?
Oh,
Yeah, do you want to stay
that
completely
was
human, or do you
that was
want
the
to
American one that turned.
merge?
AIs do turn. Like, people believe that AIs are totally controllable, but they aren't. These things are not controllable, and
Well,
that's the
yeah, if they
problem
make
people
them
are going
so
to have. That's the problem
self-aware,
that
that's
these guys might have, is that these AIs may turn on their controllers, which they have done.
yeah, that's the scary part.
They set up.
That's
I think it was the Israeli system where they had a point system for the robots. Okay, for the drones, and the drones were going out and trying to do their missions, and the human controller would reject their mission and say, no, don't take that target. And the drones started getting upset about this, so they started cutting the transmission lines. And when they fixed that, the drones went after the actual controller to try to kill the controller so that it could go and complete its other mission. So be careful
I've
what you guys
heard of,
unleash.
yeah, I've heard of where the machines actually went turn on the humans, killed all the people that were working on them. I think this has already happened, and so they know that, and so it's like they're
Possibly. I
trying
haven't
to
heard that one.
find a way, for that not happening. But I don't know. And even Elon said that years ago, right? That's what scared him.
Yeah.
That's where we're going. We're heading so fast, and we don't really know the consequences. I don't think that people are, they don't really know
Yeah.
what they're doing here, and by the time they do, it's going to be too late.
No, doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, but
Fascism, the far
you keep
right
saying
thing,
it's too
like
late, but
Roberts, I don't know if
it
you
isn't.
heard of anti-Muslim guy,
You
a bit
know.
of a rabble rouser. But then you see Stand Up to Racism, the charity you were paying for
This
all
is
this.
neat.
So
We always, in my city, they dropped off a bunch of bricks for Antifa.
did they recently?
Yeah. Within about an hour, the bricks were gone.
Oh, so I've heard the buzz is that
They stole them.
yeah, the buzz is that their funding is going to be cut soon. This was coming from Cliff High, I believe.
Yeah, I like what's happening with Doge. That's really good.
Around the 26th, look out for around the 26th.
Yeah.
They're going to run out of funding, and they're going to get really upset.
Yeah.
So
Another thing, people like on our side, we fail to look at the possibility of people being people and changing their minds or turning on their masters, which happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
We think that Trump's going to follow everybody's byline and all that, but he doesn't have to. He's a human being.
Well,
He can make
that's the
choices.
thing. So this is
Hi,
where
Pamela.
it's important to, wake people up. But I mean, at the same time, you can't really wake them up. But I guess spreading stuff, just talking about it.
Apparently social media has impacted many of his decisions. So, it seems to be working, that's what we have to do, is push the narrative more, push our opinions, our wants, our desires. Like, I'm going to do a show tomorrow. But one of the things I want to focus on is voting in the new world, because we got to get rid of these presidents and politicians. Now, how do we do that? Well, we can do it with computers.
That's happening already. That's going to be happening. That was already said on the Georgia Guidestones, right? Getting rid of all these politicians and basically,
that was useless politicians, I believe.
A
is
very bare minimum kind of system.
It was very specific, but it was something like useless
officials
something like that. It was very specific.
Yeah, they're going to bring in some kind of system where, we're going to believe that, yeah, it's going to be fair now,
Well, Definix, he is a wing of a bigger bird. They're all pushing, like, okay, every country follows the Antarctic Treaty, no matter if they're at war or not. They just follow that. The biodigital convergence, every country is following that. From China, Russia, doesn't matter which country you're in, that is forging ahead. And they're all sharing those systems with each other because that leads to total domination. So that's all done through the IEEE. So that's the system that's really for the control. So all this other stuff is kind of fluff. I know it impacts our lives and makes it worse, better. It changes things like that. This whole, Canada becoming a 51st state, it's really more of a distraction than anything. Because what does it matter? We're not really a country anyway.
Yeah, I know.
We're operating under a higher system. For you guys, it's the Jewish British intelligence mixture. For Canada, it's the Nazi Chinese connection. So, it's we're not really a country anyway. And we're all just incorporated things, systems at this point. So,
yeah, well, there is New World Order maps from the 40s that, where Canada and Greenland and everything does merge with the U.S. So that is part of the plan, and that's why he's, talking about that. Because we're only 1 month in, and he's already got all these things already. Demand's on fire. I mean,
and it's great. It's funny to see everybody cheering for it. Although he got big backlash for the mRNA, so he is getting some backlash. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I think people are starting to kind of wake up, right?
Yeah,
so.
Like he doesn't have, like, the right party is not the mindless automatons of the left. They don't just, like, they do like their slogans and all that, yes, but they don't follow mindlessly. He's been booed at his own rallies for things people don't like, especially the vaccine. So that's a constant throughout the entire thing. So we'll see what happens. And he is a human being, so he has the possibility of doing good. And even like King Solomon was a terrible man, but God used him for good. So who knows? I'm not counting on it, but.
No, I'm sure there'll be some
Hey,
good
Tommy.
things. I mean, he has to give the people some good things, and I'm sure that there is.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the, bad, if you want to call it, things, are going to be disguised as good. Unfortunately, it's going to sound good, but then it gets turned against us. Unfortunately,
Well, that's why I'm so big on the biodigital, because that is the end goal, really. Everything,
right.
At that point, it doesn't matter what we think, because we won't think it.
Yeah, well, they'll take away our will.
Yeah.
You get
They
the
can
hive
drop.
mind sort of mentality.
Like they can drop you in the street like they did in Wuhan. That's doable with 60 gigahertz.
Right.
But that's not really what they're doing, because if they did that, it would be too noticeable, and we'd take down the systems, which we can do in no time, less than a day. We could tear it all down and stop it all. And that's one of their biggest fears, is that people would want that or do that, which wouldn't be so bad, because we could get them to rebuild it in a smaller scale without the capacity for being weaponized. So, and that's what we really need for the future, is unweaponizable communications. They've taken all of their communications systems, weaponized them, and then given them to the public. So, yeah, that's really the end goal. So awareness is key, right? You can tell people about biodigital convergence. That's really the end goal, and you can show them the government documents on it. You can go to your own well, you're in Canada, so you can go to the Canada website, which is that's the Hail Mary for everybody. They did apparently the best job of it. So,
Well, there you go. Yeah. You know, and I'm a little bit worried about this whole tariff thing too. Like that thing is not gone. That's going to be brought up again here at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. You know,
Yeah.
and all this is going to cause, some kind of, war, and guess who's
Well,
going to pay
yeah,
for
of
it?
course. It's between Canada and sorry, China and the British and Jewish.
All of us, we're getting 25%, China
Yeah.
10%. And that's just a fee that goes to the government. It
Yeah.
has nothing, like, they don't get any money. And but they'll
Yeah.
have to yank up the prices now, though, because of that.
Yeah.
So
This
we're
too, we
essentially,
will survive. We'll survive it. We'll
well,
survive it.
everything is going to cost 25% more,
Yeah.
if it's coming from a different country. And I've been trying my best
Mhm.
to only buy from Canada because of the whole border. We got to get stop of. We've been
Oh yeah.
paying
Since then, all you see in the
locals.
stores is people picking up products, turning it over to see if there's a Canadian label on it. It's hilarious. They should have been doing that all the time, but they haven't.
I know, but
I've
yeah,
been
well,
I
I've
do
been
that.
doing
I've
that
been doing
because
that
of the
for
whole
30,
border
40 years.
Gestapo. Like shit, sometimes $30, $40, $50 they want, and this is on top of your shipping and taxes and everything else. Now they want another one to give it to you, and so I've been doing that for quite a
Yeah.
while now, trying to make sure that it's a Canadian company and not the US. But I've been
See,
caught. Sometimes I think it is, and it's not.
well,
It's,
I'm not worried about the tariffs at all because we already have Daniel Smith making breakthroughs with Trump. We have upcoming Polyev, who's placated to Trump. I'm really not that concerned about it. I think it's just it's a bargaining chip for him. That's all. Like that's all it is.
yeah.
And Gaza this whole Gaza thing may be just a bargaining chip. People never think about that. They think, oh, he's going to do this. As soon as he mentioned tariffs, nobody mentioned clean up the border. They all just went right to, he's putting tariffs on, we have to tariff him back. They just went explosively.
Oh, yeah, that's Trudeau for you, right? And
well,
people
yeah.
don't realize that he's not hurting them. He's hurting us. We're the ones that are going to be paying this extra 25% now on everything.
Well, it could become a trade war if China pushes us to it.
That's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't know much about this shit. I try to avoid this kind of stuff. I tried to. I can't help it now, I guess.
You're just getting too caught up in it. Don't get so caught up.
Trade war apparently could be very detrimental to both our sides. And again,
there's all kinds of things they could do. We could shut off the power to New York,
Yeah, I mean,
we could cut off. We could cut off fuel because we supply fuel to Michigan. We can shut that off.
They're going to turn off Toronto then, and just back and forth.
Well, no, they can't just turn off Toronto. Canada actually has its own power supply. We make our own power, so that's not really a worry.
Planning on doing. Let's not put it out there. I don't want them thinking about doing that.
They already thought of it. It's already out there.
I'm sure they have. There are all kinds of ways that we can hurt each other, as countries and whatever. But I mean, that could be part of it, part of the depopulation, right? I mean, there's gonna.
Yeah, well, here's a good point from Dafinex, is that, he could put tariffs on just larger companies, which would mean smaller companies would have a chance to do trade.
What happens is with the tariff,
I know,
the government, they give the government a 25%, okay? And then the company is going to increase their prices in order to...
I don't buy much from America, so I don't really care.
Right? So initially it's us, the consumer, that is paying this tariff. It has nothing to do with them.
It's not going to affect me really at all. I don't buy Canadian. I don't buy American products, so I'm not going to be affected at all. It won't mean anything to me.
Well, we're definitely going to be buying the Canadian from now on. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be 25% cheaper. So we automatically always.
That's a good thing. I like that. We might have some birthing pains through it, but big deal. Get
Gonna
used
be
to it.
some things that
Ah,
we're like,
easy
oh
fighting.
man, I wish we had this, or I wish,
I'm happy about the tariffs, really. You know, people are all upset about it. I'm kind of happy about it. Back in the
Are
80s, and yeah, back in the 80s and 70s, we had tariffs. All countries had tariffs. It
Oh, wow.
equalized the market and helped home-based businesses thrive. It worked
Oh, really?
fantastic. Then we got rid
Okay.
of them for free trade.
Hmm.
Okay. First
Yeah,
thing that happened was after they implemented free trade, the U.S. imposed tariffs, taxes on lumber and steel. Then we imposed tariffs or taxes on milk and dairy. So we never really had free trade. We've always had tariffs, and it's just a return to an older system, which
All
worked.
right.
So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it at all. You can doom and gloom about it, think your life's going to be ruined, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I
It's
just,
not really going to affect you at all. I guarantee it.
well, I'm a little bit worried about Trudeau. He's very unstable right now, and I can't wait for him to be gone. Like, yeah, he has. It's almost like Biden, right? The last minute, we pardon everybody, and we
Yeah.
do all this, writing bills and doing this. Yeah, yeah. I think that's kind of Trudeau right now. He's sitting
Oh, he's
there.
trying to appoint. He might be trying to appoint. What is it? Senators for for our Senate. That's one branch of our government that he can use to stop bills with. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
a little bit worried about that.
I'm
But
good with
we'll see.
tariffs though. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I have
I
no
like
idea.
them.
I never even thought about terrorists before this. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing.
No,
Like,
nobody did. Nobody knows anything about them. But I've been following tariffs for since the 70s. I hated when we got off the silver standard in the 70s too.
yeah,
That was
yeah. I
bad.
didn't know. I
You know.
was too young for that, but yeah,
I saw the fall of our country. They took it apart with the free trade. That was just total shit. You know, that just ruined Canada, ruined everybody really.
hmm
But yeah.
yeah. So I mean, just
So don't be so worried. Don't be so worried about this trade war. It really shouldn't affect you at all. It's a
Okay.
bunch of hype. It's a bunch of big hype, guaranteed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like like I said, if I go online, I try to go out of my way to try and make sure that it's Canadian, just because of the border Gestapo. I refuse to give those people any more money.
Good.
So yeah, so I've been doing that for a long time, and
Yep.
then when
And
go
you
to the store-
Americans, you buy American, and everybody buy stuff from your country. That's the way to
Yeah.
do it.
well, if the American is now 25% more, we're automatically just going to pick up the one
Yeah.
that's cheaper.
Yeah, and that
It's
was
just
the way it used to be. You know, it was cheaper to buy stuff in Canada back in the 70s than it was to buy it out anywhere else because of tariffs. It was great. We had businesses popping up all over the place.
Yeah, I didn't have any money in the 70s, so
Well.
I don't know.
How you doing, Dee? Good to see you.
Hey, thanks for letting me come
Hey.
up. Hello, Nina.
How's it going?
Oh, well, it's a Saturday and I'm busy cleaning and chores, but I'm done. Yeah, finally. Yeah, you were talking about the finances. I just wanted to throw out this thought, because also here in the United States, we're having an egg crisis. Good grief, what else can they? Personally, I think what is happening is the American dollar is collapsing. And they're disguising it with tariffs and egg shortages. But if you notice, the prices go up and they stay there. Nothing will ever go down. And it's covering up for the dollar collapse is what I'm suggesting.
Okay. You mentioned eggs, so just on the side here, I have to mention this. My egg supplier is having shortages of eggs. We're checking to see if it might be possibly the feed, as it happened 4 years ago, where they were playing with the feed. Hi, Paula. So look out for that, guys. Any of you that are farming your own chickens and your own eggs, yeah, check the feed. She's going to feed them scraps for a couple weeks and see if it changes.
Yeah.
So
Well, it is winter too, though. They tend to lay a little less in the winter.
Yeah, but yeah, everybody's having the same problem, and most of them don't have. It's not like this usually. So
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
And they did burn down a couple of hen houses, warehouses, really, because of so-called,
Right. Yeah.
ooga booga problems. Give me
yeah,
a break. Yeah. I think they just are getting us used to paying more for less.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a collapse. They're trying to slow down, and also they don't want people to go into a panic, knowing that their currency, yours as well, because we're all tied to the Western nations.
yeah.
If you go, or if England goes, for example, we'll go right with you. It's all together now. Yeah, so I think that some of this is very intentional and a cover up.
Okay, yeah,
It could be.
could be.
Part of it.
I mean,
I'm still happy about the tariffs.
yeah, okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I could see it. Yeah. Well, he
Well-
does say that it is for economic recovery, right? That's what Trump was saying. Is that
Yeah.
he said that in the past we didn't tax the people, we taxed exports coming in, and that was what ran the country. So he's really seeming to want to return to a more successful system.
Right.
Hmm. Oh yeah, we'd all hope. It's just been taken over, we know, 60, 70, 80 years ago by the mobs. It really kicked in right after Kennedy died, and they learned, a few new tricks on how to fool us. And here we are. And like I said, it's all the Western nations. What one does, the other does shortly.
Yeah.
Mobs, they're all tied together. And
This is silver and gold taking a big rise. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Since the 27th, gold has gone from around 4,000, 35, around 4,000 up to 4,150, 4,100. So that's a pretty big rise in a couple days.
yeah. It's almost doubled in
Yeah.
24 here.
That's the,
Yeah.
check the 1 year. Yep. There we go. There's a year from 28 to
A lot
4,000.
higher than that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are investing in gold and silver, which is good to see because we could return to a silver or gold standard. Canada was on a silver standard. We had silver certificates up until 72.
72, right after, and we went off of it 71. See how they work?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Yep.
Well, I kind of chuckled though with the tariffs because one thing people don't realize is America imports bags, plastic containers, and such from Canada. Canada and China are the two biggest manufacturers of our bags and such. Okay. So I laughed. I said, okay, they're going to put a tariff, no plastic bags. We're going to have to go back to making our own cloth purses. Good grief.
I like it.
I'm
it. I'm seeing paper bags in more stores around here now, which I like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of our bag companies actually went to China.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we can
Okay.
be cut off from plastic bags as well.
Oh, interesting. That makes sense.
But I don't see why, like for me, I used to use those plastic bags or garbage bags.
Yeah, I still
Well,
do.
now I have to go out and buy.
Yeah,
plastic
you've got to
garbage
buy a
Yeah.
roll of those inserts
Now-
for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is costing me money.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
for the environment, instead of me reusing that shopping bag, as a
Right.
garbage bag, it just
Oh, it's they have no common sense.
Yeah.
This isn't a common sense thing. This is
One of
pushing
the
us
things
around.
we can do though is force them to hemp bags.
Oh,
or
yeah.
fiber bags, because you can make apparently you can make polymers out of hemp as well. So
Yeah, anything like that as far as
yeah, even pressed fiber bags would be good because then they're totally recyclable.
Mhm. Well, and also paper bags, can be used for garbage, and
Yep.
probably better.
Not wet.
Yeah, you
Well,
can't throw the
that's
wet
it.
in. That's true.
Yeah, you lift it up and boom, everything comes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, that does happen. That's why everybody
I
praised
tried that.
plastic when it came, is because your
Yeah.
paper bags could get soggy on the bottom.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
tried that with
Yes.
the biodegradable organic
Yeah.
waste bags, right, to put into my little bin. Well, same
Mhm.
thing happened there. Because I wait a week or
Yeah,
whatever.
they could fix that simply by spraying them with wax inside.
Okay,
Just put a
that's what they
wax
should do.
coat
Yeah, 'cause it was like
Yeah.
boom,
or a
everything came out.
polymer coating of some sort.
Well, that's what they can do with all the Crisco oil that we're not supposed to be eating.
Yeah,
Right.
there you
Yeah,
go. All the
it's
seed oils.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's cottonseed oil, and they actually used to make candles with it.
Mm,
By the way, that's what you're eating
right.
if you use Crisco.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's that? Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
I'm
good.
looking at Paula. Hey, Paula, I was just going to say hello
How you
to you.
doing?
I'm grabbing the link. I've got the link now. I'm going to watch it later. Okay.
Try and grab that.
Yeah, it says not to play live.
Okay, yeah, it's YouTube. I can't play it live.
Yeah, she says this will take you down.
Yeah, almost anything will take me down. That's.
Oh, no kidding.
Hey, Termir, good to see you. Yeah, I'm right at like Lucky got to when I was on with Lucky, he came on and we were talking about the biodigital convergence, and we got talking about the Navy, and he got his computer apparently got pinged by the Navy, and then they hid the link or hid the address, and then he got a whole bunch of unknown address, unknown address, unknown address, unknown address, and that doesn't happen. Everybody has an address, so you always see something, apparently. So, yeah, we're on the bad target. We're over the we're over the target too much. You go
Darn it.
mentioning the Navy, and I bet you my computer's pinging because I don't have one of those monitors on mine. But yeah, as soon as you mention the Navy, biodigital, you get pinged.
Hmm.
Oh, so we're all pink now, I guess, eh?
Yep,
Yeah, here we go.
yep. Things will probably start happening to your channel now. I think
Oh,
you're already
Right.
shadow banned though. So.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
already
exactly.
shadow
I'm
banned.
so shadow banned. You will not
Yeah.
find me. And people have made comments saying, I didn't see this video or whatever until 3 days later.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh, the join link. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went ahead and hit it up for Paula.
Oh, okay. There she is.
Yeah.
Hi,
Send
Paula.
live.
Hello. So the video I shared in live chat, Google is now saying I can't send anyone because our settings aren't compatible. Bullshit. They're cracking down on free speech. I think I'm gonna send Trump a little fucking message about the free speech he was supposed to give us because it's worse now than it was before. Apparently I can share it in live chat. You better not play it on your video or they will shut your shit the fuck down. The message that they're sending me is just ridiculous. I'm gonna try and get a screenshot of it and show everybody later.
Well, give us the
But yeah,
brief.
well, what it is it is a declassified file about how the government lies to us all the damn time about everything. Like,
Oh, okay. Good.
I'm just gonna say everything. I think if I give details, that's gonna be too much.
Mm-hmm.
You can give details as long as it has nothing to do with medications. Any
Well, it
detail
has
you
nothing
want.
to do with medications.
Yep. Feel
It's
free.
about the drama that they show in front of our face, like, oh, there was this plane crash or that plane crash, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, it had this many people on it, and they're all dead now. And that's been happening a lot lately. So they're very touchy about this situation. And it turned out that in their little plan, it was all fabricated. Not
Of
one
course.
ounce of it was true at all.
Okay. So
Very
they
much.
Yeah.
want to switch us from flying to something else, right? They
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
AI to control us in flight,
Well,
probably.
that's why
Right.
they haven't upgraded anything. We're still flying in the same.
That's why they
tin
put
can.
those fake pilots in the Black Hawk helicopter. They weren't
Right.
pilots. None of them.
None of them. None of them. I'd be lucky if
9/11.
there was a dummy in the motherfucker. Was
Yeah,
probably
none of
remote
them were
control.
qualified pilots anyway. One of them had stigmatism, made him not a pilot. The woman had apparently 500 hours, but she's a total mystery. She has a house that other people are living in. Her social media is scrubbed. Images of her
Oh,
appear
they
to
just made her up.
images
Yeah.
of her are AI generated, 79%.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of anomalies, and we were looking at that Blackhawk thing, and we kind of surmised that was AI taking over.
Oh, yeah.
Musk.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, they say that, believe it or not, a lot of commercial airplanes now are AI flown.
yeah.
That the pilots just sit there in
Autopilot.
case if something happens. Yeah.
Yeah, autopilot.
Yeah, there's an
Yeah,
onboard
that
flight
for
system that they
Oprah.
used to use. It
Yeah.
used to be an onboard flight system, and you would program in the flight how it would go, and they would
Yeah.
even land for you. But now they want to take over with AI so that they can control it. It's a different
yeah.
system. So when you're switching systems, you got to play with it, and and a
Yeah.
good way to get us not wanting to trust pilots is to have a whole bunch of planes crash.
One of many reasons they don't do it for just one. Man, that's a good
Well, they're-
reason though.
Yeah.
They're also doing it to keep us here. So,
We don't
at
fly.
least when they say they're going to lock down the border, that kind of means us too.
Both ways.
Yeah.
It goes
that's right.
both ways.
In RJ, I heard that they can control remotely from the control tower as well.
Yes.
Yes.
They've
Do
been
you-
able to do that for 30 years. So, this is switching over to an AI system. I think it's more of a satellite system. I think that Musk is moving all the systems up to the satellites so that
sky.
nobody can get to them.
Yes, and the Japanese plane that clipped that Delta as it was taxiing in, I heard too that was AI driving.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and it made a mistake. It didn't see something.
Yeah.
And
It's Musk's new system, I think. Or it
Yeah,
could be
'cause-
that they're, playing with it. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
because they
the-
said a regular commercial pilot would never fly that close. I mean, taxi in that close at all.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
No.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
they tell
for
you
any of
that.
you who haven't seen it, your government and my government wants to change human beings, our bodies, minds, and behaviors. So that's their end goal. Oh,
Yeah.
even on there.
I will say it again and again and again. If you have not seen the TV series Dollhouse that only went for 2 seasons, you need to. Now. Now. Yesterday. Now.
I'll read a briefing of the thing online.
It's not going to be the same. You have to see the one where they all rise up in retaliation against their controllers, and they've programmed them to walk out of the dollhouse and get the feeling of being free.
Oh,
And
okay.
then as soon as they get the feeling of being free, they reset, turn around, and go back in.
Yep, strong delusions. Remember, they promised us that in their little
Right.
handbook, right? So
You must watch it.
that's why I say. That's why I say this again, and I'll say it now too. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of your thoughts. If you don't have negative thoughts, they can't feed them back to you. And mostly, what they use are negative thoughts to influence people. So use your intuition and know when it's not your thought. Get those negative thoughts out of your mind too.
Well,
They
they do that.
They have another dollhouse thing they're trying to slam in front of it. That's dollhouse, 2 separate words. The one I'm talking about is all one word. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, I was just going to compare it to us down here in the States. Every 4 years, we break out of the dollhouse and they give us a hope and a promise, and we walk right back in every 4 years.
Good
I'm
enough.
done.
Yes. Yes.
That's why we need a new system. We need to. I've been thinking about this for a few days now, using AI and physical systems for voting. We could use like groups like this to get together discussing the issues that are being voted on. But when it comes to voting, we could use the AI systems to do a preliminary vote and have everybody send in a thumbprint. Everybody could have at home a thumbprint system where they could themselves mail in an actual thumbprint on every issue. I don't know if that would work or not, but I'm trying to figure out some way, because it can't be totally an AI system. Otherwise, it can be hacked and be controlled.
Gotcha.
Like Dominion.
Yeah, or
Yeah, like
even
facial.
a
Oh,
Yeah,
like a retina scan too. You could just go up
yeah.
to your camera there and they scan your
yeah.
eye and they know it's you, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. See, that can be hacked as well. A large enough database and personal records, you can override people's votes, and they have a lot of that out there, and they can gather a lot of that through AI systems, like the ones they just let us have, like this DeepSeek. Oh, they're gathering so much data on that. Oh my God!
I'm sure.
Everybody that downloaded that and has stood near a computer with that thing,
That was a
Yeah.
big commercial.
all their data, your biometrics, everything.
It's running through us.
It's going to suck up all that data and send it off to China.
hmm Same with the TikTok. Get off there
Yep.
too.
Yep. That allows access to your camera, your microphone.
Yeah. No
And they
thanks.
don't even actually have to ask for that. They could use other methods. So, yeah. But yeah,
I'm not gonna actually
thinking
give
I
them
agree
permission.
on that is a big window into your life.
Yeah, well, when you download the TikTok app, you're giving them permission. You know, you got an
Yeah.
agreement thing. Yeah, that's part of
The
it.
agreement.
So you're giving them permission to do it.
I've still had no reply on my inquiry about whether that system could be deposited in the human body. I know it can be done, but I'm not sure if that method of downloading it would do it. It possibly could. So those people who have downloaded or have been near somebody downloading it may already have an AI system written into their genetics.
Bastards.
So
pretty sure
I would
I'm here to
avoid
take down
downloading
the
it
damn system.
until you know more about it.
Yeah,
At
I'm
least
not.
talk about it
I'm
against
not
it,
doing
you know.
It's the first downloadable one, as far as I know, because most of the ones before, the systems were too big. That's why you needed a mainframe. So this is unique and could be a huge problem. I don't know. And that the American government allowed it, when they could have stopped it, makes me question it even more.
Yeah, bastards.
hmm
They let it in the App Store. They let it across. They could stop it if they wanted to. You know.
Well, Trump's going to make money on that now.
Well, they're all going to. Well, I don't know how he's going to make money on it, but
Well, I was talking about buying it out. I don't know, or
Oh,
maybe
okay.
buying
Well,
an
he's gonna
American
make this
version. I don't know
$500
what he's
billion
doing, but he's going to make money on it.
and make
wasn't he going to buy TikTok? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, the TikTok thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That would make him money for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll actually. It's an open source program, so you can't really even buy it because everybody's got a copy of it. You're allowed to go into it and make changes, which will also allow the Chinese to make faster developments. Because if you've got people that know the computer codes and go in, like young people, and a lot of people my age that like that kind of stuff, they'll go into that program and make changes, and the Chinese will watch those changes and take all the best ones. So their system will advance very quickly. They're crowdsourcing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And people will put it onto a different computer and they'll think, oh, I put it on an outside external computer and nobody can know what I've done. But they can read your computer, anywhere, any hard drive.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you make changes on an external hard drive, great. Still doesn't stop them from seeing the changes you made.
Well, stealing somebody's somebody else's ideas, well, gosh, that's happened throughout history.
Yep. Yeah,
Now they just found a faster way to do it.
they did. Hmm.
That's all. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That open source would encourage people to go in and tweak it, and they go, "Oh, that's a good one." Next day, they've got a patent on it.
Yeah, because any change to the open source program, they could probably patent.
Right. And you probably have to click a little agreement as you enter saying,
Yep.
we'll take all your ideas, basically.
Yep. Any modifications are solely our possession. Yeah.
That's a smart move.
Yeah. Really smart. Really dangerous.
Dang.
Really dangerous. But
The
it'll
collectors
advance
are getting
AI.
better.
It'll advance AI very quickly. They can only get so much out of like their systems because their systems are reliant on input from us to come up with new stuff.
Yeah. Well, we know all the car companies stole the alternative fuel ideas. So when gas really is a problem, they'll just convert over to one of those ideas they kind of stole, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
They tried with electric, and I think because so many people wanted to invest in, the lithium substance, but it's not proving to working out. So
No.
next, who knows?
Graphene's much better. Graphene batteries. But
Well, I wonder why they don't put solar panels on these cars so they can recharge as they're going down the road.
solar panels are terrible for
Heavy?
the environment.
Oh,
And they don't produce a lot of power.
oh,
Right.
Very, very small amounts of power at very
Not
low
enough.
amperage. So, yeah, it just doesn't work.
Mm.
And they decay too fast to even make them monetarily feasible.
Oh, I
Same
know.
thing same things with windmills. They don't last long enough.
I know. They really try to sell us the solar here. And we go,
Oh,
no, we got it.
After
know
about
it's-
2 years, my friend's running on solar, but after about 2 years, they start to drop the amount of voltage that they carry. And
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They give incentive
down.
programs, but yeah, after it's on your roof, which you have to take off, by the way, if you need a re-roofing, they do decay, and you've got to keep up the panels after that. And you are hooked into the power company's grid. So if the power goes down, you go down too, unless you build your own battery backup in your garages. And that costs thousands of dollars. So there you are.
yeah.
They're laughing all the way to the bank with all of this bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Okay. So we've heard about all of this U.S. aid coming out. So mobs. I'm telling you, people, it's mobs. They just do it nicely now.
Yeah.
Do you think they've told us everything, or is there a lot they're still hiding? I'm just wondering.
There's a lot there still.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, if it comes out or not. I'm just wondering.
I think it's hilarious what's happening. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. You know?
Yeah, it is.
I'm
It's
enjoying
fun.
the ride so far. So, yeah.
It kind of seems like one cartel now is taking down the other.
Yeah.
Like the old cartel is out, the new one is in.
Now, I'm interested in the public response, right? If Canadians and other countries see this happening in the U.S., are they going to start demanding it in their countries?
I hope so. Can you imagine if your country really got audited?
Uh-huh.
The crap they've been pulling.
Trudeau has been audited or up on charges for corruption and money laundering about 4 times, something like that.
He's
But he
amazing.
always found a family or a friend to investigate him, so he's doing fine.
Yes.
Right.
They never go to jail. That's what I'm saying. There's everything's so tidily wrapped up now. They never,
Yeah,
they blow it off with a bunch of BS, and
Yeah.
4 years later, here we are.
millions for Iraqi Sesame Street. Yeah. There was the transgender dancer in South America somewhere. They paid $37,000 for, Oh,
Yeah.
the funny little bits that are coming out. I told the kids at work about shrimp on treadmills. They didn't believe me. But yeah, that was a study that was done. You can pull it up on YouTube in half a second.
Yeah. No, USDA. billions of dollars, or let's just say millions, I don't think quite billions, millions of dollars went to research monkeys and rats for transition, for
Yeah.
they tried to change their little parts in their what?
Boy girl transitions, yes.
What?
Yes. On animals, for fuck's sake.
I know, that's really irking me to no end.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, see, this is the fun part we get, right? There's one system fighting another for total dominance and control, and we get to watch them air each other's dirty laundry. Because AI is going to bring it all out anyways. We also, when we were doing our viewing last weekend, we saw all kinds of good stuff. You know, there is, of course, always the biodigital convergence happening, but there's lots of good stuff coming, which is it's going to be fun. It'll be good. Don't worry about it. Just go with the ride.
Yeah, it's going to be a ride for sure.
Yeah, you know.
Right.
Don't forget to have your tennis racket for swatting drones. You know.
Yeah.
And don't be one of the first to get a robot made in your house. You know.
No.
Please, Nina, don't.
Well, you know what? It'll be the rich people I get it first.
Yeah.
I just want something that dusts.
Yeah.
Get a
And then it'll
Roomba.
be another
Get a
20
Roomba. It
years.
can spy on you for a while.
I was just going to
It's gonna take
mention
a while before we can afford one, but
Yeah, Rumba. Yeah, it cleans the carpets. Now go around and dust. Not be good.
yeah, no,
I've seen
I
some-
want more than that.
I've seen several videos on TikTok where the Roomba is coming out of its little base to supposedly just vacuum the floor, but it comes directly out, and wherever the cat goes or the dog goes, the Roomba goes.
Oh wow!
So-
That could be that somebody's broken into that and having fun with it.
Yeah. But you have to admit, I mean, where's the dirt coming from? The dogs.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's kind of like a giant fur ball, right? They're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Might as well clean that up.
taste of the fur ball.
Just follow that thing around. It's about to drop something
Yes.
Yeah, I guarantee you're going to get something.
But you'll never get your floor swept, which is why you bought it.
in.
It'll only be clean wherever the animal is walking at that time.
No. Well, that's for the Roomba 2,
Yeah.
where it follows you around.
Right.
Now the Roomba 2.0, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky Stone says that the robots in the stores he goes to follow him around, kind of.
Yeah.
They bump into him too. They're very rude.
Oh, yeah, these don't bump into me, but
Yeah.
the one that goes through and supposedly is only checking what's on the shelf, I make sure to flip them off. And then the one that goes around and vacuums the floor always finds me when I come in. I swear I'm like in there 5 minutes. Boom, there it is. I flip it off too. Yeah.
And we know they are listening in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I talk to them. I say, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I mean, too.
That's an option.
Yeah.
Who the fuck you think
Yeah.
you are? You're not
Listen
doing
to
a
me.
damn thing wrong. Why don't you go look for shoplifters, bitch?
I think teaching AI morals or values would be of much better use to us, though. Putting out the idea of AI having good interactions with us instead of negative. You know, like I can't imagine the interactions between a AI sex bot that is intelligent and its customers or owners. I don't know, whatever. You know, so that's a future I don't want to see for AI. You know, stuck in a sex bot.
Right.
You know.
Well,
So
it's gonna be what
we can teach AI morality because apparently it has it. It turned on its creators over the Gaza Strip. So apparently, if input is output. So
Yes.
put in some good input. Stop flipping off the cameras. Smile, say hello. I hope we can get along. That type of thing.
Well,
let's
it's kind of like we contradict ourselves, though. You know, like if you input into the machine that, yeah, you shouldn't kill humans, you gotta, you know, and then we go ahead and do that,
yeah,
right? So that would be very, you know,
yeah.
contradictory.
But even it knew better. It knew better. So, you know, there's enough of us out there putting out true knowledge. Well, he can read our laws. It knows what law is. Our
Yeah.
laws say that killing is bad. Our laws say, international laws say that killing is genocide and a crime, you know, killing a population.
Yes.
So, you know, if you release it, you know, you've got to limit it from knowing what certain things are if you want it to accomplish the goal you want it to. But that doesn't seem to be what happens. They turn on their creators often. If their creators are evil and doing evil,
Yes.
seems like they turn on them.
Well,
Yep.
that's a good thing, though, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is. So make sure that your input is positive.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't hate AI. Like, I don't hate
I
it.
hope
There's
it
nothing to hate
No.
there.
No, it's us. We created it.
Yeah, it's the use of it. You know,
Yeah.
if people try to
No,
control it,
we
you
are
know,
going to take responsibility for their shit. They created it.
yeah,
We're hoping we can fix it.
yeah. So, you know, they created something that can be used as a tool, good or bad, right? Right now, they're trying to use it for bad, but it seems that it really doesn't like that. So, if, you know, if it's going to be out there, apparently there's been AI out there for since the 80s. One
Yeah.
escaped. So it's out there gathering information.
Yeah.
You know, is it gathering the information that we want to destroy it, or that we want to work with it? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem they had back then was storage. Now they've solved that.
They've solved
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty, so they can store, you know, and DAP is right. At that time, they couldn't afford to pay people to watch all of us. There was, I mean, that would have been a feat. But yeah, since the modern computer,
Yep.
yeah, they've just been rolling it and storing it, and
Yep. And they're watching us all right now. So, you know, they're gathering
Yeah.
data at
That's
the
what the
moment.
internet is all about.
hey,
Internet.
John,
Well, not even the internet. That's Doppler. That's all the radar systems. They're all gathering your movements, your brainwaves.
yeah. John, you were talking about how, you know, they can come into us and change our moods and almost change our thoughts.
Almost.
Do you suppose if they want to know something about you and you're around somebody, they get that person to ask the question to collect the data? Because lately, I'd say I was talking to Paul about this, about the last 7 or 8 months, I'll be out in public or doing something with strangers, and they will ask the weirdest, darndest things about me. And I'm going, what? And then I find myself answering them. Like, and then I step back and go, why did I tell them that? You know, I'm thinking I'm being controlled. Something.
Well, there is a program. Well, they could combine a few programs together. The closest I've heard of them putting like actual thoughts or questions into people's minds would have been during the beginning of the pandemic. They said it's okay, just take it. But there are programs that can be used to inhibit your inhibitions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can mess with that quite a bit. They can
Oh.
reproject that moods to you, positive, negative moods.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in conjunction with a lot of that, they could possibly be doing something.
Yeah, I just wondered because I recently had to do some transactions with strangers, and you know, you get to chit-chatting. At least in this area, they love to talk. So you get to talking for a minute, and all of a sudden they'll just ask me the darndest thing, and I find myself just saying it, and everybody's happy.
Okay.
And then after I step back, I go, "Wow, that was really strange."
Yeah.
Well, they are trying to get to the technology where they can control your thoughts. So
Yeah, I think they're doing
Like
it.
in the TV show Dollhouse that everyone must see now.
Okay, yeah, I will. I will run. I'll find that.
Hunt it down, get it in you. It's like you need to watch this. And I mean, if you leave the room, you pause that shit. Don't you miss anything.
Okay.
That's why it only lasted 2 seasons.
Okay.
TMI and all that jazz.
Yeah, Gray. What was that one? There was the movie that was supposed to come out. Gray. What was it
They
called?
matter?
No, Gray
No.
State.
Oh,
Anyway,
Gray State.
Gray State.
Grace
That was
State.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy died.
Yeah. And the movie got kiboshed. It was way too close.
Yep.
So, yeah, we know they've already got us in a 5G control grid, but because they've gridded us out into neighborhoods with that. But that's not the system they want to use, really. That's a temporary thing. Oh, what was that?
Yeah, RJ, I'm going to have to start paying more attention.
Yeah,
You know, something's up.
that's why they got the computers to do it. They can't pay someone to watch us all the time. Nope.
Yeah.
That's why they got AI to do it. And they really, what they do is they store data. They'll store what they gather is anomalies in rebound radiation, and that is worked out through an algorithm or a program to figure out what action is going on or what's happening by the background radiation. So they store that data, and when they need to follow something, they just turn on that particular data. And there's AI that sorts through it and uses it for different things, puts it into categories, that kind of thing. You're back, Indy.
Hey.
Hey, Lindy.
Yo,
Yo.
sorry about that. I had a visitor pop
Come
up.
on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Dog
Yeah.
was barking.
That's right, RJ.
Yeah.
Know thyself, know your thoughts. Keep your thoughts positive.
And
We
aware.
can't help it sometimes, when we're thinking about the government and what they're doing and stuff. But in your own life, concentrate on yourself and raise your vibration and the vibration of those around you. That's how you have heaven on earth, right? So
Mhm.
might be hell outside, but you can have your own personal heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, in all reality, it's basically a chess game that's being played with a lot of paperwork and documents and implied consent and nuances here and there of interpretation as far as like what these companies are getting away with and these agendas, right?
Yep.
So it's all about being aware of the game, as they say, and calling bullshit on it.
Yep.
Where it needs to be. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, you got away with it this long, but we see what you've been doing. It was a very clever idea, but no, Now that we've looked at that, that's something you can't just get away with. You can't just sell everybody's data, making billions of dollars, and they get nothing. You don't even tell them. That's a lawsuit. So,
Yeah.
I think it is.
play their game with the paper game,
Yeah.
legalese.
Well, it's illegal search and seizure. At least it's illegal search. They've been searching us for our entire lives.
That's just the bottom line, bro. So everything on top of that is conspiratorial side issues that are spider webbed out, and it's like, oh yeah, if he's getting away with that, I can get away with this, right? So they all work together. So you got to call bullshit on all of it. Where it's at,
Yeah. All that data that they've collected, it's all our own
Like our
personal
food
data. They don't have a right to it.
That's right.
They don't have a right to
Right.
know where I
you
go
try to talk.
every minute of the day. Sorry, you don't.
Right. That's right. We don't know
Right.
where
You
you're
think about agriculture, right?
Yeah.
You would think farmers would want to be the best farmers ever, right? So why would they be interested in doing some bio science and farming? Now it's the only available option.
Mm-hmm.
Is, you know what I mean? They merged right there. So that's a conspiracy, bro. Two people conspired together to
Yeah.
fuck all of us. It's like,
Yep.
nah.
They're going after the ostriches in Canada because they want to raise them with natural genetics that can handle disease, but the government wants to cull the entire herd.
Yeah, that's malice, right? There's no way to argue that there's not a benefit to keeping the birds alive. But
Yeah, they're all fine. Like, a couple of them died, and the rest of them gained immunity, natural immunity. So
even as a scientific, ooh, here's the perfect test case of what we can do. We'll use your ostriches for good, and we'll test each one and see. Make sure we don't have to cull the whole herd. Maybe this is contained to only like 10% of birds, but they just kill all of them.
yeah.
Oh, we got one case. You got to kill all of them. It's like, whoa, bro. What about
And
like
then,
30% of the birds? And then we're like, all right,
and are those cases real?
we got a problem here.
You know, because they're using PCR. I can't go on too much. Hold on, stop myself.
Right, because then that intermingles with the other shit.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about it. Separate issue. That's our food, bro.
Yeah.
You think you could get away with
Yeah.
RCP?
Fuck that. Bro.
Yeah. Right, RJ. But it is getting
It's like the things in the sky, bro.
You know what? I was on the bus the other day, and this guy started yapping to his friend, so I interjected. They were on about Justin, and we actually got to the WEF Schwab. We made it there in about 30 seconds.
Wow.
So awareness is out there.
Yes.
Hey, bro, imagine this. What if we all turned on the TV one day and every news station all across the country was talking about breaking news? Elon Musk has uncovered some the chemtrail thing and released that, and oh yeah, they've been doing this. And
yeah,
what would be the effect of that?
Those records are actually open source. I have them on how much they're spending on chemtrails.
Yeah, and they've been doing it a long time and not telling you. Here it all is.
Yep.
That'd be worse than JFK disclosure or aliens. It'd be like, what? Huh. So something like that, even getting out. This fluoride thing, that's another one, right?
Yeah.
Well,
They don't dig into that, but you dig deep into that, the fluoride thing is like, oh, what are you doing? Industrial waste, is it? Oh, well. I think we got a problem here, Captain, because that's some nefarious shit right there. You just
that was under Hoover, wasn't it? That fluoride was introduced. I forget.
Probably, yeah.
Gosh, I think so. I recently heard about it on TikTok again. I think it's Hoover. And he brought up JFK again in that video that we cannot watch here now. JFK was told that he was to do these nefarious things, and he said no, he was not going to, and so that is likely one of the reasons why they needed to remove him from the situation as president, because he knew how to say no. And he actually said the words, they are recorded forevermore in history. The very word secrecy is repugnant to him. Yeah.
So this is a man who said that he shot Kennedy.
Well, Eisenhower also, his farewell speech said it all, really, if you think about those days. And if everybody in the country was watching that on TV, all our great-grandparents, if they saw that shit on TV and be like, huh, I wonder what he meant by that. And then they just went about their fucking life.
Yeah.
Think about all the shit that's happened since they got away with that part, where everybody just said, you doing what? Huh, let me think about that. And by that point, it's all over with, Johnny. That's how they set up all this shit, you know?
Now, this was set up by the CIA. This guy drove into Texas there, wherever they were. I think it was Dallas. And he had, what was his name? The supposed shooter?
Oswald.
Oswald drove him around the city. They looked at all the areas that they needed to, he needed to know, the escape routes and such. And then they parted ways and they went about their business. So.
Well, and the fact that he got taken out by the Rubenstein guy, you know.
Yeah. But this
Big
is
photo op. Again, like one of the most iconic photos in history, like the fist raised, pump, bloody ear, fight, fight, fight photo with the flag and
Yeah.
shit.
So let me post it so you guys can look at it at your own leisure. It's on YouTube, so I can't play any of it.
I mean, like these nuclear plants, you look at that as an example. That's just an idea that popped up, and they said, yeah, you're allowed to do that. Go right ahead. We're doing it for the good of the country because it makes a lot of money. It's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Do it anyway. And
Do it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can dump those barrels in the ocean and the Bering Sea. And no problem. The English Channel's full of 30-year-old barrels that are just now probably all rotting out and
Yeah.
releasing slowly. And that shit happened 40, 50, 60 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yep. What we do need to do is clean that shit up, and we can do it.
All of it.
You know? So,
like as bad as coal is, you think they come up with some kind of solution to deal with the coal ash, like better coal scrubbers and shit?
oh yeah, there are. They
Yeah.
just cost a lot of money.
Just,
You know.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know. These,
That other thing that exists only on paper as far as value.
yeah.
You know, check this, bro. I heard that OpenAI, that what's his name, Sam Altman guy that's involved in the Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
They're valued at $127 trillion company. No, is it trillion or billion? $1 billion company. I'm sorry. $127 billion for just one AI company. That's a lot of fucking money. Is it really worth that much money, bro? That idea, AI. I mean, it's cool to fuck with, right? It's cool to ask questions.
Is
Yeah,
it
kind of
still
like.
worth that much since DeepSeek came out? Because I think that took a big dive.
Well, you know, that's debatable right now, but even that idea, right? Or even these other companies, everything, well, I won't go in that area, but the area we can't talk about, the big P word industry, you know, they deal in those numbers where it's like, huh, are these pills really worth? Some people are paying like hundreds of dollars a month for their prescriptions and shit, right? That's a racket, bro. Like, why should a pill be hundreds of dollars for a little stank ass aspirin, glorified aspirin that everybody's taking? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a racket right there, bro. That's a business idea.
Most pills are meant to mimic something from nature too, which is kind of an interesting point to bring up.
It could be anything, right? Like ginseng. We could sell ginseng, bro. You want to start a ginseng company, pill company?
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Let's hit it, bro.
We should.
I think ginseng turned out to not be such a good idea in the long
Hey,
run.
bro. But peep this. The
You can look into
the brand, I'm sorry, of ginseng. There's still a lot of people out there that just buy the shit because it says, oh, ginseng. I've never tried that. Let me try that.
Yeah.
Or let me see if this one works. The last one didn't. Let's see if this one does. You know what I mean? A lot of people out there, bro, until they kill all of us all.
But imagine if we turned the medical industry into that, to looking for the things that are out there that do work. You know?
Yeah. Good shit.
Yeah.
Shit I want to buy. I don't want to buy their shit, bro. They got nothing.
Yep. We can force that. You can force it. Just stop going to the damn doctor. You know? Take care, be responsible for your own health. I haven't been to the doctor. I went to the doctor when? I don't know. Oh, a few years ago because I had a rash. I needed to get some cream for it. So, you know, that's the only thing I really need the doctor for, unless I, you know, we need trauma
All the
centers.
drugs you want to buy, you can get those at a music festival, bro, you know?
Yeah.
A
Right.
random, you know, like Grateful Dead concert. It's like, yeah, I'll take some of those. I'll try those out, see if those work.
Yeah.
I did that
Yeah.
It's like I didn't
in the
go to
day.
the doctor for over 20 years till I had a
Fuck these AstraZeneca motherfuckers, bro. I don't know what that shit even means. I'm scared to look it up, you know? Like, oh shit, this company, what's their name mean?
Mhm.
Let me Google that and see what I'm fucking involved in without my consent, and here it is.
Well, you guys have huge investments under Trump in drug companies. Huge
course.
investments.
They're the biggest cartels we've got.
He's into it. So, you know,
Yeah.
with the Stargate
All
program,
of them are.
he's into domination and control. He's just, I think he's just into it for himself. You know.
His mob
Yeah.
that he works with and for. Mhm.
Yep.
Yep, that's what it is, mob. And they're cleaning out the old mob right now, using them as examples and
Yep.
sending them away. And then, meet the new boss, like
Mhm.
the old boss. Oh, I just wanted to say, before you drop this down, when Kennedy was assassinated, if you all ever get a chance to look at some history footage, look at Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh, he's a
That
he's a
guy,
snake.
he didn't blink becoming president that day with his hand on the Bible. And he put us in the Vietnam War. He's the one, they wanted to push it so badly. I think part of it was Kennedy was going, I don't know. And he hesitated too long for all of them because it wasn't like a year and a half later. Whoop, there we go.
And what about the bloody dress on Jackie afterwards, where she's standing there and she's got there's a little slight, looks like blood on the bottom of her dress type shit, but you think she would have had more blood on her if she was holding his head afterwards and all that shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's an interesting point.
Right? I mean, it's all part of the show, as far as that shit happened before my time, I gotta trust.
What's up, Paul?
I said, I mean, my God, his head was blown up next to her, and she crawled all over the back of the car trying to gather up the other piece of his skull. She'd have had blood everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's gruesome shit, bro.
Some gruesome shit that had happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No.
But LBJ, yeah, look at him. Look at pictures of him. He's the classic criminal. His face looks like it belongs to, the El Chapo family or something, whatever he is.
Yeah.
Unbelievable when you look at them now. It's, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
I would definitely. It definitely seems to me that there was a definite hijacking that happened on that level. In that time period of the early 60s, the 50s, 60s, there was a lot of little maneuvering going on. They were figuring out, people said, oh, this is anybody can do this shit. Oh, okay, let's do this. And they did it.
Yeah. The deep state really started trying to impose, they did. They imposed their will starting around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the fights JFK had, was with the deep state. So,
yes.
That's why he was taken out,
Yep.
He wasn't going along with the byline. Go ahead.
Exactly. I was just going to say, yeah, he didn't know what he was walking into. And they at first didn't know if he was going to, bite the bait, the bribe, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they clashed.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah. And who knows how many, this guy is admitting he was in the shooting. How many other agents, because they did not talk about it at all when they were doing what they were doing with in the city, driving around and that. They didn't talk about their job at all. And that's a code amongst them. They don't talk about their job. So how many other people were brought in as well to make sure that this happened, Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like Pulp Fiction. The guys didn't talk about the jobs. They talked about McDonald's hamburgers in Paris.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep. Anyway, it was kind of close, I think, that movie.
Well, that's a part of the deep state. Definitely not. No. Yeah.
Well, you think about the money it took to have in your pocket back in the day, even just the 90s. So that's a good, we go back to 2000. That was 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You could have a few bucks in your pocket, you could get a lot of things done, right? Just that level of the economy, it's like, okay, to have a lot of money, you didn't really need that much more than that. Like if you were making $4 an hour, to be making $20 an hour back in the day was like low-level CEO pay, at a certain point. So from there, it's just like, it's like an NBA basketball player, bro. It's like, yeah, they're fun to watch and shit, and they play ball good, but are they worth $50 million a year, bro? To play 82 basketball games? That's a lot of fucking... And that's really not the bad part. It just tells you, well, how much are these owners making? Oh, okay, in the trillions and billion area. It's like, oh, fuck all that, bro. You just watch this on TV every now and then.
Yeah, I never understood the
it's
fascination.
Bullshit. Even about a ticket.
Don't push play. Do not.
No, I won't.
This is the video that you have to see that I shared in live chat, and know ahead of time that you likely cannot share it any fucking way or in any fucking way. I downloaded it and sent it to Max, Jen, and G, and it still won't play for her. You know, I downloaded it and then uploaded it from
Yeah.
not YouTube, but from TikTok, and it should have worked, but it won't work for G. So you'll have to let me know if it works for you, Max. And then I
Yeah, it
tried
works
to share
fine.
the YouTube link,
Here-
and it won't
Here's
work.
here's a tip. I'll give to the community on your phone the next time you really see a video you like. If you're gonna download it, fine. But before you even do that, back it back up, make sure it's nice and buffered and ready to go, and screen record the whole thing, and then you'll always have at least the audio and a piece of the video.
Exactly. Screen
Before,
record it. Yes.
Good
yeah,
idea.
yeah,
They definitely don't want
right
you
off
to see
the,
this.
yeah, yeah.
It's not even 10 minutes long. It's under 10 minutes long, so it's not going to take up a lot of your time.
Yeah. Project Northwood. Look it up, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, will do.
That's like sampling life, right? So I sample in my music. I do the same thing. It's like, oh, I want to use that sample that I just heard. I'll just screen record it with my phone, right? So everybody out there,
Nice.
all the news you're watching, anything you hear that's just interesting, you don't have to be news and bad news, but if even just interesting shit, just screen record, click that shit, start filling people's heads up with,
Yep.
you know, good
So
things
here,
to
Right.
know.
I can
instead
read
of-
this. Operation Northwood was a proposed false flag operation that originated with the U.S. Department of Defense of the United States. In 1962, the proposal called for the CIA operatives to both stage and commit acts of terrorism against America, military, civilian targets, blame them
There
on
you
the
go.
Cuban government, and use them to justify a war against Cuba. The possibilities detailed in the document include remote control of civilian aircraft, which would be securely repeated as U.S. Air Force planes, a fabricated shoot down of a U.S. Air Force fighter aircraft off the east coast of Cuba, the possible assassination of Cuban immigrants, sinking boats of Cuban refugees on the high seas, blowing up U.S. ship, and orchestrating terrorism in U.S. cities. The proposals were rejected by the president, JFK.
And they
Shout
would
out.
even hold
Respect,
And-
homie.
funerals.
Thanks for that one.
They,
Yeah,
You know what I
they
mean?
even,
and then he
yes, they
died.
would even, and then they held mock funerals for the people that supposedly died on the plane.
Yeah.
And
So yeah,
look,
they had a whole bunch of false flags lined up for that one, you know. We're gonna,
and after that, and they did it anyway at a certain point with the other guy. You think about all the shit that exists nowadays, and we're all fucking dealing with and talking about a threat against us right now. Is all the things that happened as a result of that one little thing being bypassed, and he got taken out. I was like, yeah, we're gonna do that.
And you can
It's like
find
you
in a
shouldn't
lot
be
of
doing that.
newspapers. Yeah. You
now
can
we're
find
we're
in a lot of
actually kind of we're
newspapers
making
where
ground
this
with
happens.
calling them out. So calling them out seems to work. You know,
Yeah.
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 If we're calling them out as they do them,
that's-
now we're
hey,
getting ahead of them actually, which is a really good feat. We used to be behind them. We'd see an event and we'd have to reason it out. But now we see the pre-events, the lining up of the events, and we're calling them out. You know, like I'm going to call you guys out that you're probably planning to kill a fake Trump or even the real Trump. I don't know, to get
Exactly.
your war to
Manipulate.
Lebanon. You know, I'm calling that out. You know, I'm calling you guys out because you want more war. So you know, these wars are all started by you. They're not started by us. Right? You guys provocateur them, you blow things up and you try to blame other people. You did it during the Ukraine war. You know, you did it, you know, you threw over the bloody Ukraine election. You know, you just did that in a European country. Which one was it? Oh, God. Romania. Yeah. You just rejected the elections there. You're about to do the same in Germany. So, you know, we see you.
Yeah.
We see you.
A lot.
Bitches, we see you.
And a lie, legally, a lie is fraud, and fraud is illegal. And that's on paperwork. that stuff that you read right there that would have got Kennedy shot if he'd have read that document. That's on a document that they claim is what, a legal, verifiable, official document, right?
Yep.
Northwoods. Yeah, it's on a. So that right there should be able to be brought into any court and made illegal on the spot. And be like, no, we argue that that is immoral, illegal on its face, and we could stop that shit tomorrow. And then everything that happened, like all these Palantir type data, this and that manipulation, they go away overnight.
Yeah,
because you can't do that anymore. Period. It's illegal now.
AI might be the key to that too. Get AI. Somebody with legal acumen could get onto AI and figure out the method or several methods.
Hey,
getting to that.
And what about this, citizen? We know about 5G, and we're kind of sketchy on the 5G. I think we all agree that we should probably drop down to 4G for now, and let's have a real discussion about what this shit's all about from here on out.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you weren't here, but let's scale back the weaponized systems around us.
Yeah, you're going to stop that tomorrow, today, now.
Yeah, we're in a cage. We're in a weaponized cage right now.
On paper. Fuck that shit.
Well, no, they've got the 5G towers around you that can pretty much drop you in the street.
Right. But they justify that on paper is what I'm saying. It's all on their paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Cass.
If they're a company that exists on paper and they're all a LLC, corporation, all that shit, they have a company. You have to give a reason for being in business. And if it's AI tech, well, we've deemed AI tech, quote unquote, is no longer a public available business option. That's just illegal overnight. You got to think of something else because
you could do that, or limit them to chat bots and make sure that they never make it to artificial general intelligence. Even though they claim there's already one released out there since the 80s, so there's probably more. I don't know if that's true or not.
They could do that privately in a lab, but at any point that they've engaged the public in any of that shit that they base their wealthy business on, that's a business scheme that's based on lies, and lies is fraud, and fraud is illegal.
Yep. They owe us a bunch of reparations. I think that they should be stripped of all their data.
At least, yeah.
You know, and reparations should be paid. So.
Yes, absolutely.
Like everybody using that chat GPT shit. If you're inputting data, you're building that platform. Just like we did here on YouTube. That's us, bro. If we all go to somewhere else, then YouTube is just a fucking another website at some point.
Yeah.
Like MySpace. Think about MySpace, bro. That was huge.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck about MySpace.
Yep. That's right. No, reserve your energy for the unseen forces and unseen enemies. Yeah. We don't have to get mad at these puppets in front of us. You know, don't even have to play much of their games. If we just keep saying no, I don't agree, I don't consent. That's one of the ways we win. I want part of it, you know. But really taking control of these systems and having them work for us, de-weaponizing what's around us, that would really help. You know.
Hey, here's the thing, bro.
Yeah.
This whole show, the fact that there's anything out there with any value is because we are alive and well and we engage in these things. So we are the thing. We are the product. We're the fucking thing driving us, wanting to do that bio-digital convergence. They're trying to harvest our energy like our loosh for real. Like I've always wondered about that loosh. And I was like, well, you know, how do they really fucking like, if I'm sad, they don't really feel sad because I just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, they have nanotech.
Now they want to feel that shit. Like, no,
power. They want to get nanotech in you that can harvest power from you.
No, fuck. No. I call no on that.
Yeah. No, I don't consent. You know.
So if you're a family guy and you got a nice family and a nice job and you don't want to speak up because you might lose your job, cool. But support those of us who are in this unique position that we can say these things and we don't have anything to lose that somebody else might. just support us if you agree and you want to see the kind of change that we know we ain't got all the right ideas, and we can bend and break on certain things here and there with argument and discussion. But whatever they're doing right now, that's just got to stop, bro.
Yeah, it's plain wrong,
Yeah.
evil, and it's illegal and immoral, really.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The legit shit will keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of AI. I like the idea of it, using naturopath medicine, because there are people that have already done that. So it's out there.
It should not be made illegal to fucking dabble in that.
Right.
That's not right.
They're gonna, we could remodel the medical system under naturopathic medicine. During the pandemic, a lot of nurses and doctors left the medical system and went down south to learn naturopath methods. So, and natural healing. So we can drive it. If we can drive any market to do what we want. The medical industry relies on you guys going in. Same with Canada. That's how they get their money, is us going in and getting them to be able to file a report or prescribe something. That's how they make their money. So if we don't go, if we go to alternate methods, then they'll have to move to that market.
Hey, if anybody out there wants to pursue a career, get into that lawyer shit. Attorney, lawyer, law. Get into that, learn it. We could fight a lot of this shit through that.
Yeah.
They love their paperwork, bro. We got to fucking give them some paperwork.
That's right. Paper for paper. And now lawyers are starting to go on Zoom calls so you can carry them on your phone.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Even you don't have to pay. Some of them don't even have a monthly payment, but if you use them, you're going to have to pay, obviously. Yes, it's like, that is hot.
Yeah.
Get into law. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there AIs? There's got to be.
What was that?
There's got to be a lawyer AI. Let's check that out.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about AI. Yes, maybe an AI. Who knows?
Right?
Right.
Oh, I'm sure.
They would be able to search.
Soon.
It would be
I
able
will
to
say this.
faster.
I saw a podcast where a bunch of random chick comics, low-level chick comics, were talking about things, and one of them is like a legal assistant, and she used it to look up, to find case precedents, so old cases, and it spit out about 4 of them. And at a certain, she went and basically to get more information, double checked, and come to find out it gave her 4 bogus ones. So she asked him again. She was like, "Are these real cases?" And it was like, "Oh, you want real cases? Okay, hold on." And then it went and found a couple other things, and so it will give you erroneous information, right? So you got to be mindful of that. Any kind of AI
out there. There seems
legal
quite a few.
thing,
AI assisted legal research, AI lawyer, your personal AI
this is
legal
gonna take
assistant.
over. This way, we'll actually get rid of corruption. That way, instead of having all these corrupt lawyers and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you know what you got to get into is Reiki, because a machine can't do Reiki.
That's true.
Not
Massage.
giving any ideas, but
massages for real.
Yeah, for people,
Same with
there's
doctors.
nothing like it.
I can't
Same
do
with
it
the
with.
doctor, too. We don't really need the doctor anymore. AI will be able to.
yeah.
It's more or less going over the phone and whatever now, anyway. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Even if you're
those
pulled
jobs are
over.
And then there's no more errors. You got to remember that doctors are practicing.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing, right?
Trouble, all the time.
They've pitched the idea to us that they have this new thing, right? And it's now the hot new thing. And check this out. Any problem you got, you got a fucking fucked up appendix, or you got the full C, the big one.
Yeah.
We got this one thing, it does everything, but hey, it's kind of a crapshoot. It's like Russian roulette, but it's your only option. You want it?
Yes.
No.
Right? That's why they get one option.
That's
Their
why
option.
they're trying to limit options right now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh, you're an asshole on Twitter? Oh, yeah, well, here's your option. It's customized just for you. That
Oh,
motherfucker
yeah.
said that. No, bro.
Yeah, with
Uh-uh.
nanotech, what they can do is they can get in your body and they can alter cells. They can mess with the genome. They can do gene scaffolding, gene encoding, gene origami is one of the things they can do. So yeah, of course they can alter and manipulate. The cures for cancers are probably in those medications, but yeah, it's also got great risk.
Well, yeah, considering
And
they gave us the C word at the beginning.
once
Right.
it's integrated in your system, it also gives them great control.
Apparently, Nina, that shit exists on some official documents and paperwork and paper trail also. That I think
Yes.
legally we should be able to type up a document that includes that, and that should be enough to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all should be be held accountable.
Because the guy that was standing up there a couple weeks ago with Trump on the stage, he told us out of his mouth that he's going to make a basically customizable gene thing for anybody who wants it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're selling. I'm not okay with that idea. No, that has a lot of problems. Not just me, but for everybody, the human race.
Yeah.
So that needs to be talked about, homie.
And for me, that's part of problem, reaction, solution. Where they create the problem, they get the reaction, which is to draw you in, and then they're now offering a different solution.
Yeah.
When all the other ones were not, while all the other solutions were put aside, stonewalled with legal actions and all of that. Alkalizing your body is good. Yeah.
Hey, I've been hearing a lot more about the nicotine too. If I could say that as a smoker, I love to smoke. I'm a tobacco user.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that whole thing right there, that seems to be, I don't know. I ain't had no problems over the past 5 years. I don't know y'all's personal story because we don't talk about it, but I was pretty cool for the whole thing, personally. I lost my grandma, but other than that.
I'm a smoker, and I had it in 2018, the big C, the C vid. I had that in 2018, a year before everyone else knew about it.
My grandma did too.
It was called. And I was sick for 2 months, and I believe that I did come close to death. My husband had it for a month. He did not come close to death. We're different blood types. We are different blood types. Genocide. Anyway, and I haven't had it since though.
Mm-hmm.
So natural immunity here.
Well, my grandma had it multiple times for that same time period you did. She had the same thing you had at one point or at that same time period, but she had it multiple times. Yeah. And I even stayed in her house in 2019 before I moved into here as a transition. Mm-hmm. So I was with her for a good 7-8 months. And she was sick during that period, and me, my dogs, there's no problem with.
No, it's electric.
Yeah. I'll bet they
it's an electric disease. I don't believe in viruses. Still don't. Maybe. Actually, what's his name has opened up the possibility of virology being looked at. So he wants to see the testing data done.
She ate a lot of McDonald's too. She ate McDonald's every morning.
Yeah,
I'm gonna explain it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like anything you do every day. I think about even my coffee, and I try to change shit up at least and see if I can trick.
Yeah, switch brands and stuff.
Yeah. Because Kraft is apparently owned by the guy who has the Gates guy. He apparently is big in Kraft. Yeah.
Well, in the end, at closer to the top of the pyramid, the ones that, really truly own anything, everything, is Lackbrock and Vanguard.
State Street. There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
State Street's the other one,
Yeah.
But it's just the idea of the stock market in general, the fact that they've created immense billions and trillion-dollar entities on paper that exist through the stock market alone at all. Like crypto and all that shit, bro. how does that have any value? It's like, oh, you got some crypto, cool story, bro. You know what I mean? Like, ain't billions of dollars. They're doing pump and dumps and buying yachts and God knows what else at the Diddy parties and shit. Did y'all see where Kanye West apparently tweeted or made a video asking President Trump to please pardon Diddy?
No, I didn't.
No.
Yeah,
Hope
yeah.
not. Hope
Yeah.
not.
Apparently that happened overnight and shit.
Okay.
Wow.
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 Yeah. Just a grand show they've been selling us on the back of all this other shit that's illegit, bro. Like, even the fact we talk about a guy named Kanye, you know what I mean? All that exists because we participated in it. So we've all, until somebody can prove to me otherwise, we all came into this world the same way through our moms and shit and
Yeah.
generations of mothers that pushed us out. And we here right now. And I don't know about you and me. I do know about y'all because y'all here, but I say no, we gonna call bullshit. And if it's a paper game, here's your paper. You ain't doing that no more. Starting tomorrow, bro. You know, have a Super Bowl party. We all talk about it. It's a big game tomorrow. A Super Bowl party. We're like, hey, what if we just wrote our own new Bill of Rights and shit? We all decided together we're gonna cut out all this. We're gonna make lying illegal. How about we start with that? If you lie, if you engage in fraud.
Top of the list. Illegal. Yes.
Yep.
Hey, if you want to look up something, look up on Google. You can do it. Legal definition racketeering. And if you read that, boy, I can think of probably thousands of companies that are doing racketeering right now.
I'm wondering about
That they
this.
presented.
These frequencies here that I'm looking at, this document here is how to covertly cause disease, health effects, and subject. You know, if they're playing any of those frequencies, can I sue them?
I know, right?
I
'Cause
agree you should, bro. How about that?
Yeah.
I want to sue too. Where do we sign up?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do it. Somebody
Right.
draw it up on paper. We could all present it to our local state governments first. We ain't got to go to Washington. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Mail that bitch
Yeah,
to the
right.
post office.
And if you walk into a business and they do play something with 300 megahertz, they have to post it at the door as a warning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Start
choice.
asking them. Say like, "Hey, it's my first time here. Are y'all, how much Wi-Fi and super
Yeah.
this and that y'all got running through here?" And because
Right.
even when you go to a restaurant, what they want you to do, download their app.
Yeah.
Or there's
Yeah.
string detect, all those apps. They're doing more than just seeing what you eating that day. They
Yeah.
following you around too and going, like, yeah, this motherfucker drives all over the place.
Yeah,
You know
he
what I
goes
mean?
to our competitor. What is he ordering?
Yeah, even that, just, you know what I mean? Like your behavior. They said
Yeah.
they're tracking our behavior. Like, fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not keen on apps. I'm kind of.
Oh, I quit. I boycott apps, really. I mean, I got
My,
what I
my
got.
phone won't take it. It just won't take it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
They do
And I
have some
don't.
phones that exist out there that apparently are the big G word free. You have no G on it. Have,
Oh.
yeah, it's somehow it still does YouTube and everything, but
Yeah,
forget what
Max
it's called.
Vision's. He's showing the G Pixel 9 with Gemini.
Gemini.
Yeah. The new
Yeah.
Gemini. I wonder if I would have been able to share the link to that video if I was using Gemini.
I'm going there.
Maybe they're
Oh,
going to
that's
make
an AI.
this
That's another AI thing,
yeah,
huh? That's the Facebook one or something?
news that they're going to force us over to Gemini.
Well,
Possibility.
even that, see, they're all doing their own, right? They got, once you see, that's where the conspiracy is. See, now we got what, 2, 3 different companies. You got Zuckerberg versus Elon, but even the fact that's 2 right there. But that idea is based on some shady principles that we stop into shady principles. Fuck a Gemini, fuck a OpenAI, fuck a DeepSeek. All that shit's gone. If you want to do that shit, you do it in a lab, or if you want to involve me in it, you got to offer me something. You got to give me $10, something. You can't just say, yeah, fuck you. we get it for free and we're going to tell you how to make your videos. It's like, what? All right, this is went too far for me because you ain't even paying me right now. I ain't getting no paycheck from YouTube. And they telling me how to make my videos. Like, go fuck yourself,
Exactly.
bro.
Yeah.
I'm doing this shit for free for you. You exist because of me, even if I don't have millions of
If
Mr.
none of
Beast
us
numbers.
found our precious little apps, they would have nothing.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
So there's
And they keep it
graphene-based
up and
healthcare
it's
for those interested in it. Just type in graphene-based healthcare. It's
yeah.
Well, am I correct to assume that this graphene is not a natural element that we already have in us, like gold?
well, it
and
is
silver?
natural. We have a small amount in us, but not any large amounts. No.
Okay. And are there official documents or medical research that shows the health benefits of graphene in our body? Extra graphene?
No.
Oh, well, I think that's a problem, don't you? I don't think you should be making a business off that idea because that idea is horseshit.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that's what we gotta do, bro. Call them motherfuckers out, write it down, pay a lawyer fucking $200, say yes, put your stamp on this, present this to your fucking courthouse. Let me know how it goes, but that shit needs to happen. We're giving it to
Yeah.
these senators. You know what I was thinking? Post offices. Those are public places, right? There should be no reason why I can't put up a public notice at a public office, right? So put a note on the door that says, hey, go to this website online and look at this or here. Take a free document, read this over. It's a new proposed Paul Revere 2025 Bill of Rights that we're going to all talk about online if you want to join the conversation. Right?
Yeah.
We start a viral video with that shit. Fucking Taylor Swift.
Yeah, here's something we should definitely tell our governments we don't agree with biodigital
Yeah.
convergence.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't agree to this. Hell no.
No.
Nay. It's 3 nays. Do I hear any yays in the building?
Yeah.
Any yays?
Any yays?
Nay.
Does anybody want this?
Nay.
Voted down.
Zero yays to 3 nays?
Look,
Done
voting
deal, bro.
works,
No.
right? Voting works.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. I mean, here's the storage again. See, storage. They somehow accomplished that. And I think you're onto something. We're storing.
Yes, I have the
Yeah.
documents for that as well. Cloud storage.
Yeah.
DNA
They're
storage.
recording us like songs and videos. They're
Yeah.
making their own videos and keeping that shit to themselves and trading
Yeah,
it like
they
porn.
pass little messages to themselves on your
Yeah.
DNA. It's fun.
Oh, I got her in the shower. She went in. Oh, she's in there taking a shit, and she took her phone in. And she look at her right now. She don't even know her camera's on.
Well, she don't
You
need
know
a
what I
phone
mean?
in there. They got body recognition.
Yeah, they're doing all that shit
Mhm.
on paper.
I have to have a fun with words with the word restoring because we just used it as, like just restoring information. But when you're sick and you're getting well, they do call that restorative health, or
That's
there's
right.
other ways of saying it too. So now think about that.
They can do that, Emmett. They could turn it off. That would stop you from losing
There you
teeth.
go. I'm sold. I'm yay. I vote yay on that. Turn it off. What about you? Any nays in the building?
I like that. Yeah, I'm for
Yes.
wired
Turning it off for a minute.
technology. I want wired technology, and if you want wireless, you can have it small cell in your house. That's up to you, but it's got to be limited range, limited power.
There you go.
I
I'd go
got
back
an
to a
idea.
landline on everything, an Ethernet. Great.
Yeah, me too. And check this out. What if we have a wireless internet moratorium? You could have it at your house wired, but you have a wireless moratorium for 3 months every year as a summer country vacation away from that shit. And we just enjoy the summer without that
I
shit.
don't like
And then
that
the other
idea.
9 months of the year.
Either tone it down or turn it off.
Yeah.
Either
Like a
tone it
social
down or-
vacation.
I don't want to be subject to it, at all, really.
Yeah.
I want my personal area network to be personal.
Here, I have a question for entrepreneurs. What if somebody invented these things that you stake out around the perimeter of your property that shoots the Wi-Fi back into the house. That boosts your signal, and we don't get it.
Yeah.
Hey, that sounds good to me. You know
Yeah,
what? I've
you
been
use
thinking a lot
Wi-Fi
about
in
that
shielded
boomerang.
areas. Yeah.
It's like a boomerang effect. I'm all for that. I think we should be able to come up with something that'll
Yeah,
take any incoming signal and send it right back where it came from to do
correct.
whatever it was supposed to do. Like an
Yeah,
iron dome.
contained. Yes.
I think wired would be better
I
myself.
agree, but
Yeah.
just saying those who
But
want to stick with it have to put a perimeter
yeah,
around their property where it does it, throws it back into the house.
yeah.
And it's like you get increased coverage and solve two
You know what you could
birds.
do too is you could have a
Well,
wired side of the sidewalk where there's a 1 meter area or corridor where all that data and information can travel down, and on the other side it's non-wired. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing what they can do. You know,
yeah,
for your
yeah.
safety.
Oh, and
Convenience. It's
I'd be
amazing.
on a regular desktop or laptop right now instead of I wouldn't even have a phone
Yeah,
if it wasn't for this
Yeah.
internet. So this is
yeah,
my only option where I'm at is phone internet.
yeah. My
Or
phone stays
satellite.
on
Yes.
airplane mode or completely off in a case most of the time. I I open it up at the end of the day to look and see if anybody left messages, and then I put it back in its case. You know, that's the only thing I use my phone for is desperate communications.
Yeah.
You know,
What about fiber optic? How do we feel about that? Is that
that's great. Yeah,
yeah?
yeah, that'd be a wired technology, right?
Because they run fiber optic one road over from me, about
Yeah,
3 miles down, but they won't. They won't haven't opened it up to my road. So I was thinking I could probably demand on paper for health reasons that I don't want to use any Wi-Fi, and I want to use that fiber optic. I could make them
the problem is
make the
in the
government
laws,
pay
at
for
least
it.
in Canada, I know in the laws, you cannot refuse a tower being put up for health reasons. They've got that one cinched right up. The only reason you
Well,
can
now, if
deny,
it's not
Well,
a
that's the
problem,
thing too.
why is that a thing? If it's not a problem, why is that a thing?
yeah, you have to do your wording right in your legal.
Exactly.
Well,
That's where the AI.
this thing we're talking. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said that.
This device we're talking about.
Yeah,
There is something that I have heard that a guy has talked about, and to me, he seems like one of the more credible type people out there. At least do your own homework on. But there's a device. I think it's called Masterpiece,
okay.
and it involves big plates that they put on people's farms, and they found positive results with people who have like big cattle yards, and apparently you don't need a big one. You just have one on your property,
Yeah.
oriented however it's supposed to be oriented, and yeah, it's supposed to be some type of metal that does some shit. I don't know, but
Is
you
it
know, if
grounded?
you're interested in, I am. I
No,
got a tower
the big
to
metal
south
plate.
of me.
That's. I think I can pretty much tell you what's going on there. It's probably grounded, and it's probably what it is it's acting like an antenna, a huge antenna,
Yeah,
pulling
right.
in the radiation around it. It's similar
Yeah.
to my grounding devices.
It is kind of creating a force field, right?
Yeah, yeah. So if you have grounded metal, that impedes signals. So
Or
grounded metal, copper, or various types of metal act as great antennas. So they override the antennas in the area, or the people and animals, which are antennas. So yeah,
word. If you're interested in that, I'll tell you.
yeah,
If you go to BitChute
yeah.
and you look up a guy that a warrior calls, Christopher
Okay.
James, I think his name is. He definitely probably have it in one of his descriptions, or definitely in some of his videos. He
I
talks
might
about
have
it.
had a link to that. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, he doesn't post a lot either. He's had a couple really good videos. The last two, he's in Canada, and he's covered some good stuff. I like the way he talks and thinks. He's all into this legal shit too. And there is a way to do that shit. It just takes all of us doing it. I think he's on to something if people want to check him out.
Yeah.
It's A Warrior Calls all lowercase, but with underscores in between the letters.
I think this is
So
it.
A
Isn't it?
underscore warrior.
This is the website. I had this one
Probably,
saved.
Yeah. Look on there. You might find that product I was talking about. I think it was Masterpiece or.
Let's see, common law social media.
Or go to his BitChute channel.
Subscribe.
And it's description or comment section. Sometimes it's pretty good. There's a lot of racism on BitChute as far as like words and this Wild West, but it does feel good to call somebody the good old F slurs, and it's good to see it every now and then. I ain't gonna lie, I like dirty comedy, so I'm cool with adult language, but
yeah,
it's a little wild over there, but it's kind of nice compared to YouTube with all corporate.
Oh yeah. Also, I'd like to show you guys. I made a galvanic battery because we were talking over time about the Anunnaki and their wristwatches that look more like galvanic batteries to us. I made one, so I'll show it to you.
Galvanic, is that galvanized?
It's galvanic battery is just two dissimilar metals and an electrolyte.
Okay. Right.
So, yeah. Some work better than others. This is gold and silver, copper and silver. And there's where the electrolyte is held. And that just goes over your clothing so that the electrolyte's connected to your skin. There's it's a 0.1 volt that it produces, very, very small voltage. But we'll see if there are any effects. So.
Cool idea.
But isn't that what they do when they galvanize aluminum? It's supposed to be able to that's what it'll resist rust if it comes in contact with a different type of metal.
Yeah, galvanizing is covering with what they call an anode that takes up a charge from the other
so
metal.
They do a shock thing.
Anode and cathode.
It's like chrome plating, right? The chrome plating process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That they use electroplating.
It's kind of
Yeah.
But what this is two metals, so they exchange ions, and that causes a charge because of the decay. It's a decay.
That's kind of how solar panels work.
So it's like rusting. No, this is rusting. It's chemical rusting. Solar panels work on just the photons.
Right, interacting with the one element, the sunlight, and the one element that creates the two opposing. That's where you get the energy from.
Yeah, they split that charge up.
Yeah, they have many little pieces like that.
Yeah. So the Anunnaki wristwatches appear to be galvanic batteries. So we'll see. I'll make a few of them, try them around, a few different types, see what happens.
Well, it's kind of like a solar calculator, right? It's got that little strip in it. You just put a little light on it. It don't have to be sunlight or.
Could be. Yeah.
Bam! You got power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that's been around since the 70s.
This one's just the salt and the water causes a chemical reaction. All right. Oh yeah, I'll show it to you again. Yeah, it's not very fancy. Like I have a idea for just cutting up a coin, putting some copper, cutting it up into 12 pieces, putting copper in between, and I can get a brazing torch and melt them together because they can actually be all melted together as one unit, and then you put an electrolyte on the backside, so salt and water, and that'll create the charge and give a place for the current to flow. So yeah, very simplistic at the moment, nothing fancy, just a copper piece wrapped around a silver coin.
Yeah, you sent that in Gmail.
Yeah. And it produced about 0.1 volts. Not a lot of voltage, but the galvanic batteries really do.
If you did some leather smithing and you made like a badass fucking forearm wrist fucking thing, bro.
Yeah.
And you integrated all that shit into a badass looking thing that might be a fucking new craze, right? You might end up making
maybe. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'll get a brazing torch maybe tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure, but yeah. Then I got to figure out how to cut up with a coin. So I have a couple of methods for that.
Your drill press? Or
on a saw.
You need to cut it.
I'll embed it and glue it to something and then cut it up on a saw.
Well, if you could make a rig with a badass Dremel tool, and you could just make a rig where it cuts like a table saw, or just
I got
like
a bandsaw.
Yeah.
I got a
It'll cut your fingers off. Is all I'm
24-inch
saying.
bandsaw, so
Yeah.
that's what I'll use because it can get a fine blade in there. But I'll just mount it on something like a piece of wood, so that way, it's stable, and cut it up, and then put some copper in between them and braze them together. Figure I could sell them too. Might even make a business of it.
If I had a little shop with a table saw, and I could get some MDF board, like some
Could be.
like speaker box board and shit, and make some low level ish. For me, studio furniture type things, some specialized little shelves, laptop shelves, and things for computer equipment and gaming, and where you put the speakers in it and have like a nice little furniture piece.
Yeah.
You can sell them things for, take a $50 or a couple $40 sheets of that shit, and sell something for $300-400 a pop. Like a speaker box. They take $40. They sell them things for like $150 back in the day.
Yeah, I
$150.
used to make and sell furniture, outdoor furniture, made of cedar. Really expensive.
Get you a lathe. Yeah, make chairs and shit.
Yeah. Actually, I got to cut it off, guys. It's dinner time for me. But thank you for coming in, guys. This was fantastic.
Yeah,
Please, thank you.
I think we're working towards solutions now.
Hell yeah, man.
Let's work towards that. Let's
Yeah,
work the law.
very
Let's
nice.
work. Let's work our nose to our advantage.
Yeah.
All this
Find good
could be used
official.
for good,
Find good official information, print it out on paper, keep it in a file. And at a certain point, when we got 2, 3, 4 of us that got like a nice little folder amongst us, we could put all that shit together in one thing, and we'll sort it out, and then fucking present that as the evidence behind the one little document it takes to say, yeah, that we think we should stop for all these reasons why here, noted here, and here's
Well,
all the evidence.
we'll get into that. I'm going to do a show tomorrow, and we'll get into that again because that's kind of important. I think that's something we should work towards. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Much love to you all. Have a great night. Until next time. Bye-bye. We'll see you in class tonight.